All right, Johnny, welcome back to another episode of Collector's Quest. I'm Tyler here with Johnny. Johnny, what's going on?
Not much, Tyler. How are you on this fine evening getting ready to podcast a little bit with you? Is that the podcasting? Is that a verb now?
It's always been a verb, yes.
A
We're
verb
just
now?
we're gonna start. This is how we're starting the show again. Johnny, let's go into video games. Forget whatever you're about to drag on for 2 minutes. I'm gonna cut it off here.
I was going somewhere with it, but now I'm not. No, we're not doing it.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Collector's Quest. I'm Tyler here with Johnny. Johnny, what's going on?
Hey, Tyler, just getting ready for an evening bath.
just so I want people to know, if anyone joined pretty much everyone doesn't know this, I would assume. So we set up the Patreon and we're like, you know what? We're just going to release the extra bits that we cut as like bonus audio, for the Patreon. So literally the 30 seconds that you heard at the beginning of the show, that was the original concept for After Dark. Just the worst parts of the podcast that get cut. And then we had to turn it turned into like an actual like hour plus long thing that we schedule separate time for now.
But that's not true. That's not exactly true. We were going to do that, but also it was born out of after the show, we would sit around and we would keep talking after we like stopped recording, and we'd be talking about ridiculous things. And we're like, yeah, we can give people insight into that. And then all like the part we were also going to put in was all the like ridiculous. We're talking about how to get the episode up and like, what are we going to do? And that shit was actually super boring. And I'm glad we never did that to people.
Yeah. And, a lot of it was also like we talked about a bunch of games on the podcast, and then like immediately after the podcast, it's like, all right, let's go to eBay. Let's see what I can get. What did Johnny just mention? I want to get some video games.
Yeah.
And
don't try and dunk on our After Dark. People like the After Dark.
Oh, I know people like the After Dark. And you should, this is our, subscribe to our Patreon for $4 a month, and you can get the part of the podcast that you don't get for free. It's not worth it. Johnny.
I mean, you also get the Discord. The Discord's the part that's worth it.
A very historic moment in video game collecting just happened. It was the August Heritage Auction signature auction. Why is that significant? Because a bunch of people who don't pay attention to video games at all come and spend a lot of money at the Heritage signature auctions, because that's generally when the good stuff comes out. And, people who have $1 million to blow on collectibles are just like, I don't know, I guess I'll show up for this and buy the best thing here because I got rich on Bitcoin and I don't know what to do with all my money.
Do you think those people are coming I guess you can tell me, did they come this August in this economy, in this vast uncertainty?
It was very interesting. I'm guessing there's probably a great breakdown that actually has better historical prices by Get the Greg Games. That's probably going to have a whole Cheat Code Weekly episode on it, I'm sure.
This is another episode of Cheat Code Weekly.
But
that's my Greg impersonation. Did I get it?
So that was perfect. Yes, that's exactly what he sounds like. You sounded very Canadian there.
Thanks.
I was so the video game market, how would you describe it right now? And I guess the graded market is really more what this is about. It's ho-hum at best, maybe down.
Life support?
It's not life support.
No,
I mean, people
on.
would characterize it like that compared to 2021.
Life support, not exactly, but how about a long-term coma?
Sure. Long-term coma. I'll take long-term coma. Everything hasn't gone to zero. But there's no Tech Mobile sales where we see, wow, $100,000 Tech Mobile, huh? That doesn't happen very frequently right now. So auction starts, we start with like the NES stuff, and man, Contra 9.4 A+, $7,500. That's down maybe $1,000 from a year ago. Bubble Bobble 9.8 A++. This gets a huge bump because it's in mint condition, $8,000. Last year, a 9.8 A+, which doesn't get the huge bump because it's not like the perfect grade, sold for $7,500. So that is down. If you had a 9.8 A+, you would have spent the extra $500 to get the perfect grade. Perfect being 9.8 A++. So that's down. Final Fantasy 9.2A, $2,400. Final Fantasy, a game we want to be in the top 10. $2,400 for a sealed Final Fantasy. That's down like $700 from last year in the same grade, and like $1,000 from 2 years ago in the same grade.
I hate it.
Ninja Gaiden 9.88++. Again, this is getting a huge bump for being the perfect grade. $8,750. That's down $1,500 from just last year. Metroid, again, a game that like should be in like the top 20, right? Not a hang tab, but a circle seal. 9.48+, $8,750. That's down $2,200 from May this year. And this same grade sold for like $50,000 in 2021.
That seems not great.
Metroid is trash. The people do not want Metroid games. And I mean like every Metroid game. Metroid 2 I thought was cheap. Metroid Fusion I thought was cheap. Super Metroid 9.2A+, $3,750, which is, it's flat, probably, maybe down. A year ago, 85 pluses were selling for like $7,000 to $10,000, and I recognize most people would take an 85 plus over a 9.2A+. But you know, Super Metroid for $3,700 is not like lighting the world on fire. You don't see that and be like, wow, video games are really coming back.
No, I would say you might feel not great about that.
Pokemon Red, the Japanese version, like a mint copy, like a VGA 90 plus, was $22,000, which, I mean, we're still kind of in crazy town here because not a lot have come to market, but that is about half the price of what the first one sold for, which was, I think, less than a year ago. So we're down like $20,000 on that. Sculptor's Cut, you know, Rare N64, we're getting into newer games. Complete in Box sold for $5,000, which is, you know, about what it's been selling for. Again, none of these prices are lighting the world on fire, and a lot of the NES stuff is down. Nintendo Power 1, 9.4, $5,500. That's down $3,200 from February this year. The video game market is dead. It's all going to zero.
You just said it's not all going to zero.
A copy of The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker on the Nintendo GameCube sold for $19,000. $19,000 for Wind Waker.
Why?
I mean, the why is a combination of, it was in perfect condition. It was 9.88++. It was made in Japan, which is an early print. And some millennials had crypto money. I don't know.
So you can't tell me why this.
No, because I'm looking at the beginning of this auction. I'm like, all right, I guess people don't want Metroid. I guess people don't want Contra. Like, I guess everyone who cares about these games, you know, we're all dying. And then Wind Waker's go for $19,000. Who has $19,000 to spend on a Wind Waker? Who doesn't have it to spend on a fucking Metroid? A Super Metroid was less than $4,000, and Wind Waker is going for $19,000.
That seems reasonable. What are you talking about?
It's crazy, and that wasn't an anomaly. The newer stuff was doing really well, and the craziest thing of the auction: a Nintendo GameCube, the console. 85 plus. This is not an exceptional grade. This is like, you did a good job keeping this in your closet for 25 years grade, but it's not like, wow, you really picked through the lot and found the absolute best one. $55,000 for an early release Indigo GameCube console. $55,000. And someone is yelling at their car right now, no, it's the only one. It's a Pop 1 of the 2001 variant. It's a fucking GameCube.
I'm having a bit of trouble processing what you just told me. Did you just tell me a GameCube sold for $55,000?
You could have got Super Metroid, Final Fantasy, perfect condition Ninja Gaiden, pretty early release Metroid, and you would have spent like less than half of what this GameCube cost.
And you could have got that Wind Waker.
Could have got a Sculptor's Cut. You could have got a Wind Waker for the most insane price, and you wouldn't have even sniffed this GameCube. I do agree. You know what? If we're going to pick a GameCube, Indigo is the one. That's the iconic GameCube color. Don't give me none of this platinum shit. There was a platinum GameCube. It sold for like $8,000. Don't give me none of this black. I want the Indigo GameCube.
You want the Indigo GameCube, huh?
I mean, the GameCube logo, when it goes like, boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, that's purple. So.
I know. Yeah,
that's
look,
the color.
when I think of GameCube, I think of purple. When I write my little documents and I make the GameCube cell, I always make it purple.
All right, Johnny, let me hurt you here. So I think that we're going on VGA populations here. So I think this is the only, this is like the pop one. This is the only early GameCube that's currently graded. There was also the only graded early Super Nintendo. So it was like a VGA 80, with Super Mario World. So this is also the first boxed release of Super Mario World. GameCube didn't have a packing game, so the Super Nintendo is a lot cooler. Plus, it's arguably a better console. It's earlier. It's easy. Super Nintendo has a lot going for it. And this is the only one graded. It sold for $45,000. So the GameCube destroyed the Super Nintendo. How do you feel about that?
I am disappointed. I'm not mad, but I am disappointed.
The millennials are here. Gen X is dying. Get rid of your Super Nintendo stocks while you still can.
I mean, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? This is all we have, Tyler. This is all we have.
I mean, we could just keep ignoring these numbers and just buying what we like. That seems like a good plan.
You know what? I think I would be way happier buying that Super Nintendo and I don't know. What other things could I have bought with that Super Nintendo and still spent $55,000? The Ninja Gaiden, how much was that again? 8,000?
Yeah, $8,700 for mint condition Ninja Gaiden.
How much was that Final Fantasy?
That was $2,400. Honestly, you should have bought that. I wouldn't. I hate the A. I can't buy a sealed game with an A seal. It's just what am I paying this for?
That basically means it's not sealed.
Yeah, it's that's opened at that point.
So I could have bought Super Metroid and that Super Nintendo.
Okay, how about let's put it in these terms. So let's see. So 9.2 A+, that's a decent grade. It was a nice looking Super Metroid. If it's the thing an average person would pick it up and say it's mint, even when it's very clearly not to a person with a discerning eye. But if someone found it at Portland Retro Gaming Expo and they're like, oh, wow, a sealed Super Metroid, they would say it's mint. And you could have got, doing the math, 15 copies of it instead of that GameCube.
No, I'm just thinking I get the Super Nintendo. I get that Super Metroid. I'm sure there's a Final Fantasy 2 in that lot too that I can get.
There was a Final Fantasy 2. I didn't put it in here because it had a B+ seal. It was also kind of a disappointing sale. It's really hard to gauge with a B+ seal. I think it was $4,000 to $8,000, something in that range. But Final Fantasy 2 is a very, very rare game sealed for how popular it is. So
I could have got those two games and the sealed Super Nintendo or new Super Nintendo or a GameCube.
Or a GameCube, dude. Dude, GameCube, okay. The GameCube era is here. Also, right. You know what? I'm also going to say Mario Kart 64, $52,500 for a 9.8 A++. That is basically in line with 2023 prices, which when you're in 2025, if you're in line with old prices, that's a pretty good place to be, I think. So
you're doing it.
The same game, mint condition Mario Kart 64, sold for $81,000 and then $36,000 in 2023, which there was a big drop. But if you meet in the middle, it's $50,000, and we're still at that $50,000. So N64 pretty strong too. And there was a VGA 95 Super Mario 64, which sold for $175,000.
Whew.
Video games are alive, but not if you're in the Super Nintendo and NES era. Everyone who cares about those is dead, and we've moved on to N64 and more importantly GameCube and GBA. Because you know all the Pokemon I didn't even go through the Pokemon GBA sales, but yes, they're all $10,000 for all these fucking middle games.
So, here's my hot take. Don't grade consoles If you have a really nice console, just buy an acrylic box for it and throw it in there. Stop grading these things.
Yeah, I bet if that GameCube console was in an acrylic case, I bet it totally would have got $55,000.
No, I'm telling people, don't spend $55,000 on a graded console. Just go find a really nice one and put it in an acrylic box and feel good you didn't spend $55,000.
So I don't think, does the GameCube have a sticker on it? Like the Super Nintendo, I don't think had a sticker on it. So it's just like looking at the hinge and determining that like this hinge is worth $44,500 more than a regular thing. I can't do the new console thing when it's not actually sealed. Also,
I don't know if it was. Did it have a sticker?
I don't think Super Nintendo had a sticker.
No, Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if GameCube did or not.
I mean, either way, we're talking about a $55,000 sticker.
Also, not even I guess it's the original, but there's so many, like GameCube actually has fun variants for the system.
I mean, whoever bought this only cares that it's the first earliest. They're probably like the biggest GameCube fan in the world. I would bet actually that the person who bought the Super Nintendo and the GameCube were the same person, and they were just going to buy it at any price because they got that Bitcoin money.
I mean, there's a really good lenticular GameCube that you could get with Metroid Prime on the cover.
That is pretty cool, except it's a negative because Metroid games are so weak. No one wants Metroid games. No one wants Star Fox games. Like, if you are not, no one, like, quote unquote, like, here we go, no one wants Contra. Obviously, $7,000 for a near mint Contra is a very high price to pay for Contra, but Contra is never going to be that $30,000 game like a Pokemon Blue or Pokemon Red will be. I'm sorry that you're...
I regret some of the things I've bought, Tyler.
Oh, you regret talking so much about graded games?
Yeah, and not doing better.
Damn.
I think we could have made better purchases.
I regret this transition, Johnny.
Oh, okay.
This episode was actually a suggestion. All the suggestions that we don't end up doing. So hold on. This was Viva recommended a collecting regrets episode, and I'm like, that is perfect. That's the kind of thing I would click on YouTube about a topic I don't care a lot about. So before we get into it, I need to think, when we think about topics, we need to think about making topics that someone who doesn't really care about game collecting would click. Because when I get like tangentially interested in a hobby, like right now I've started painting miniatures again. So YouTube is recommending all these miniature painting things. I'm clicking the most basic bitch, like top 5 tools for painting miniatures. Yeah. Is this the most overrated thing that Games Workshop has put out? It's not like anything nuanced. It's not like how to build a Space Marine army with the 9th edition rules. Like, I'm not doing anything specific. I'm picking the most general, broad, stupid things, and we have to make sure we're doing that so we get the casuals in here, Johnny.
Yeah, well, or we have to make it a question. So because I care about the cosmology of Kyoto so much and I wanted people to click on it, I never had uploaded my video that I did for Instagram to YouTube. I was like, oh, I'm going to upload that. And so I gave it the dumbest, like, I'm like, I got to give this the most like bullshit title I could. And it was instantly more successful than all of my other shorts.
Can I give you some critical feedback on your YouTube shorts? You take like 7 seconds to get into what you're talking about. And in YouTube short form content, that's an eternity. You need to start in 0.5 seconds with like, we're talking about this. And you're like, hey guys, I want to talk to you about a game that's near and dear to my heart. And I've already scrolled off.
Okay.
I need you to hit me with snap at me with something interesting.
All right. Well, you could do all of my editing from now on.
All right. Perfect.
You've got enough.
I love editing.
I know you do. You must.
Can I know we've spent 20 minutes talking about, no, it was video games. I don't care. That doesn't count. So at work, I was tapped to do a podcast for like a technical thing. And then my podcast got canceled because it turned out it was too similar to another project that was going on, and they pulled me in just to do the editing for the other project. So now I've just got more fucking editing work to do at work.
No. Why? You didn't tell them no?
No, what? I'm not gonna tell them no. I want to stay hired, man. Have you seen the job market?
Yeah, that's true. Oh man,
Johnny, I regret. All right, we're going to talk about some of our collecting regrets here. A very easy topic because every collector who has ever collected anything has changed what they do over time and has regrets. And the cycle is all the old wizened sages of any hobby pass their knowledge down to the younger generation, who then proceeds to ignore that knowledge, do their own thing, and then 10 years later come to realize, oh, that's what they were talking about.
Yeah.
So, Johnny, my first regret is starting to collect video games.
Oh, that's yeah. That's do you regret collecting video games? Do you really?
So, all right. Obviously, I have a ton of friends from this hobby. It's a creative outlet. I've done YouTube stuff. I have this podcast, obviously. I have a lot of cool games, which I like very much. I have like 95% more games that I don't care about as much. But, you know, when I think about it, I've had a lot of hobbies. You know, I've played and painted Warhammer. I've done pinball. There's a huge community of pinball. And all of those hobbies, even the expensive ones, don't take up as much room in my house. And I also have friend groups from those, and some of them also provide creative outlets. Pinball machines, there's a whole mechanical fixing and tinkering thing with that. Collecting is a bad hobby. And I mean, I'm stuck because my brain works a certain way. But I would not recommend collecting as a hobby to anyone. I would be like, get into art, get into writing, I don't know, get into hiking. These are good, healthy hobbies to have.
Yeah, we could definitely have better hobbies in that regard. Yeah.
Or if you have the collecting gene, so we're starting out, but our start out is like, oh, video game collecting is the worst hobby. If you have the collecting gene, get into something that's like free, where you could just waste your time. So there's the community of data hoarders who they basically just try to archive all the useful information on the internet in case like doomsday happens, and then they'll have a bunch of hard drives that work for 5 years before everything breaks and we lose it all again. But at least they're not just like every time a paycheck hits their bank account, I got $1,000 I could spend on GameCube games.
Tyler.
Yes.
That doesn't sound unreasonable, right?
What doesn't sound reasonable?
Just spending $1,000 on GameCube games.
I mean, that's cheap. That's like a 19th of a GameCube game in my my eyes.
So, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. This is all good decisions. What's to regret?
Well, all right, we could skip over starting collecting because I think we're all already here and we're all already stuck. Man, yeah, if you just got here, get out while you can. Oh no.
You're like, I think I should check out collecting video games. Yeah, you should. You should definitely check out collecting video games. Buy your 10 favorite games and buy them in really nice condition. And don't do anything else, and then go away. Run.
Yeah, no, I mean that's great advice. I mean we could just get into that. I have bought too much, Johnny. You have bought too much.
Yes.
There are too many video games, and we have friends who, once physical games ends, we have friends who will try to own every video game.
Yeah,
that's
like on their way.
Yes, well on their way. I mean, if you have a lot of sets, like you're starting out from a pretty good foundation, you got to just start working on those Game Gears, those Gizmondos, those N-Gauges. Or you could not do that, because I think the best thing you could do in collecting is to have one Billy bookcase full of your favorite games.
Are you taking up the Billy bookcase challenge?
I'm taking up the Billy bookcase challenge. Guys, don't have more than one Billy bookcase of games. You know, I think it's hard to pare down once I already have like an entire house full of games. It's impossible for me to pare down to that now that I'm used to owning all this garbage from all these different consoles. But if I started again, I feel like I could stick to it.
I think I could. I think I could, in the sense that I kind of know what I've done wrong.
So, like I remember starting out collecting, and it's just like you go on eBay, and it's like, oh my god, all these amazing games are like $4. Like you discover PC Engine, and you just go into PC Engine, and you're like, what are you talking about? All these games I've heard of are like $9. Like I'm just gonna buy all of them.
It's really easy to feel like these are all good deals, and then here's the thing. We are the opposite of most YouTube content, like where everybody is like on the pump, and all these like, yeah, you should get video games. You should invest in video games. These are going up, and like, yeah, like these are so good. And like, I've made so much money. Yeah, of course, when I bought it, now it's X amount of dollars more. And we're over here being like, don't ever do this. Just stop. Save your money. We're the worst pumpers in the whole hobby. We're like, hey, if you invested in your 401k yet, stop buying video games.
I want to do a 401k after dark, by the way. We're gonna tell you how to actually set up your finances, Johnny. So just on the note of collecting too much, the more you collect, and so I know we're saying this Billy bookcase, maybe 2 Billy bookcases. All right, I understand some games are big. The more you collect, the more like exponentially worse it gets in terms of running out of space, because everyone says they're running out of space. Like you start out, you've got your shelf, you got the good stuff on the top shelf facing outward. It's like, oh, that's my good stuff. Oh, I can see it. It's on the top shelf. Then you get too many games, and like you have to compress it. You have to put everything on its side. And then you get to like, if you completely run out of room, you have to start double stacking. You put like your bad games or like your Xbox 360 games in back and the NES games up front. And then you start filling up closets, and then you start filling up cardboard boxes and shoving them under spaces. And like, you can no longer see everything you have. It becomes way harder to find things. It becomes even harder to sell things. And like, just like, it just keeps building up. The more like, even if you keep track of what's in what box, which you won't, the more boxes you have, the harder it is to find anything that you have. And then it all just becomes like this horde of stuff, and you no longer can find anything. And it's just like, well, all my games are in there somewhere, and you're no longer enjoying a collection. You have fully become a hoarder.
I do recommend, if you put things in boxes, label your boxes, and then write down everything that is in that box. Also, single layer boxes, guys. No double stacking, no going 3 deep. Just a single layer. That way, when you open the top of the box, you can see everything that's in there. This is advice from somebody who has too many games. And this is actually the opposite of what you should be doing, because you should never get to the point where you've got this box. But if you do, go back and fix your boxes.
I just put in a new order for some more really useful boxes, Johnny. Not that I should be buying more boxes, but they weren't for games, so it's okay.
Okay.
Good brand, though. We like really useful boxes here.
Yeah. I have my recommendation set from Target. I've got some I like as well that also feel like modern stuff. Love some boxes.
What is it? Is it it's the 17-liter really useful box, I think. That's the one you want. Yes. That one is the perfect size for 3 rows of CDs or 2 rows of DVDs or 2 rows of NES games. Or SNES games. Yeah, I think it's pretty much good for all video games. 17-liter really useful box.
N64 kind of Genesis. If you manipulate them where the hang tabs slot, kind of.
That seems crazy. But all right,
no,
I've never tried it with Genesis.
Yeah, you put one in and then you put the second one, so the hang tab is on the back of the one that's up in front of it. You got to just do that. You have enough room, I promise.
All right, Johnny, we've so don't collect too much. And you know what? Like, just man, you don't need the low value stuff. If you're finding yourself going through a checklist of sports games, I can understand. If you're the number one PS2 fan and all you're collecting is PS2, yeah, go get the shitty sports games. But if you are a generalist collector, like I'm a generalist collector, Johnny, I think for the most part, you're a generalist collector. You've got your specializations in horror and weird variants and stuff. You don't need just because those N64 sports games are there, you don't need them. I understand. They're all like $17 for a cardboard box video game, but oh my God, what are you going to do with it?
You don't need these. all those Intellivision games you bought, you don't need those. Put them away.
I could get
Put 'em
rid
in
of
the
my
garbage.
entire Intellivision collection. I don't know what I'm doing with that. That's a great idea, in fact.
So, and listen to this conversation that Tyler and I are casually having. Get rid of your Intellivision. Yeah, I should get rid of it. This is what we're talking about. This is where you will be. Don't be us. Okay. This is not do as we say, not as we have done. Like, don't get to the point where you're looking at your collection like this. I mean, look, every individual person is different. You might be like, I don't regret any of this. I have all the space in the world. I have no F's to give for any of this. And what up? Double middle fingers to everyone. Give it all to me. And that's, if you are, great. I'm a little jealous. But when you have to think about like, oh, do I have to move this? Like right now we're having some construction in our house and I like move stuff around and like figure out where to put things. And just the minute you have to move or are conducting a move or have to move any of your things, and if you think about what that process is going to be like, you will find regrets. And I'm not a person who really lives in a world of regret. These kind of episodes are hard for me because I love all my games. I don't regret it. I wish I had done a better job, but like I don't sit around and think about this. I don't dwell on like how bad I messed this up, but I would love to impart the things I have learned on other people and help them, because I think some people do not deal with regret as well as I do. I think you probably don't like. I think maybe you harbor more regret, but I don't feel like you're constantly like being like, oh man, everything I've done is completely wrong my whole life. I don't think you're like that.
I don't. I know. We started this episode kind of very negative on game collecting. Like, oh,
Yeah.
Don't start game collecting, and I bought too many games. Like, no, I love my games. Obviously,
Yeah.
I've got a podcast about them. It's the Collector's Quest podcast.
Yeah.
What I regret most, or like what I just want to go back and start again from zero. Like, God, even if I started now from zero, just like get rid of all that, turn it into, give me 30% of the value back for everything I own and let me start again. I will do such a better job next time. It's just too much work to go through work of selling it all and starting over. But man, I just wish that like I bought the right stuff the first time. Like it is so much harder to sell something than it is to buy something. So even just like going through and upgrading something, it's like, yeah, you're spending like, you got, for me, it's, I got to get my workspace set up. I got to get my lights to take pictures for eBay. I got to take the pictures on my camera. I got to transfer the pictures over to my computer. You could say it takes 3 minutes to list something, but there's a lot of like setup and tear down for me as that goes
There's also mental energy that goes into that is far more, it's so much more mentally taxing to sell a thing than it is to buy a thing.
Yeah, and that's either cutting out one of my weekend days or I got to do that after work, and it's more work after work. And like buying stuff, it's like
I
2
can
seconds.
buy stuff on the toilet, man. I can be anywhere and buy something. It's insane how easy it is to buy and how hard it is to sell. There are some people who thrive on that, like, oh, I'm going to upgrade this copy. Like I'm going to keep wheedling out like bad stuff and getting the best ones. I don't enjoy that process. I don't enjoy going back and selling things. I do wish like you, that I had always just bought the best available copy. But what does that mean, Tyler? So what did we do wrong when we did not buy the best available copy? Let's describe that for people.
Well, for both of us, buying any copy of any video game that doesn't include the manual and every single insert is a huge mistake. It is the worst. Johnny's been trying to fix that mistake for 20 years now.
Yeah. Literally more like there are manuals that I have now spent more on than I bought the original game in box for. Okay. Like just let's go back and not by a little bit, by a lot. That had I spent $10 more or $15 more at the time I bought it, I wouldn't be spending an extra $300 or $200 right now. Let that sink in. They're just like financially, what a fucking dummy I was to be like, I don't really care about manuals and I'll never care about these. It is hard for people to imagine where they will be and how their minds will change. So I wish I had a podcast like the Collector's Quest telling me over and over and over, just buy the best one. Who cares if you don't think that matters to you? Just buy the best one. And for some of you, you may just be like, well, then maybe I should just be buying it sealed. There is an appeal there. I get I get that. I'm too tactile and I want to see too many things. And I care about minutia and variance too much to really do that. That's why that's not an option for me. But it might be for you. This might be the only time you really hear me being an endorsement for sealed, just because you don't have to think about it. The mental exhaustion of like going through all of this bullshit all the time with sealed stuff, you don't have that. That's part of where the premium has to live.
So obviously, sealed is stupid for the A list and even the B list games. But
yeah,
I think even if you think you don't care about condition right now, I bet if you stick at this hobby long enough and you get enough stuff, say like you get to the point where you complete a set and then all of a sudden you're looking at your set and you notice like 20% of the set is just like kind of shitty because you didn't really care and you just wanted the checklist stuff. Like all of a sudden, oh, you want to go and fix that. So even if you think like I'm good with 5 out of 10 stuff, because I'm buying it for a checklist, I'm buying it to play the game. Like it is. One, your opinion will probably change. Your standards will probably increase over time. But two, we're in the world of video game collecting, and we have this wonderful site. It's called pricecharting.com, and for the past 20 years almost, it's been giving us one price for every video game, irrespective of condition. And this single website has kept video game prices down for good condition stuff for almost 20 years. And it's also been collector attitudes, obviously. But even today, since COVID, where everything went crazy, mint condition stuff can be 2 to 3 times the price of pretty good condition stuff. And I understand pretty good condition stuff is pretty good. There are not other hobbies where you can get mint condition stuff for twice the price of pretty good condition stuff. That would be amazing. Usually in hobbies, when you're looking at like grading scales and stuff, if you go up like one grade from like a 9.2 to a 9.4, that might be twice the condition. But we're talking about going from like a 7 to a 9. That's twice the price. So take advantage of this while we still can.
Yeah, and every time that my brain tries to lure me into, well, I guess I could this would be fine. No, don't do it. Buy the best one that you can like reasonably get, right? Buy a nice condition one, make sure it's complete. I cannot stress to you enough how much easier and better your life will be in 5 years if you just bought the best nice stuff. It does not matter if that means that you have 20 less games. I promise
that's a bonus.
That will come out in the wash. That those 20 you didn't get, you will make up that value by having the nice games. I promise you.
Also, no one has ever regretted buying a game that is too nice. I know one transaction in the history of all collectibles that I've ever been exposed to where somebody downgraded their game to like cash out equity from it. And it was Andrew Brim. I think he traded, it was like the Mario Kart Wii U Nintendo World Special Edition. He went from like a 90 plus to a 90 and a bunch of money.
I did that with my super my mountain bike rally speed racer.
Really? All right, I know 2 cases. I can't believe that this is I wouldn't if I had like Wii shovelware and I had like a mint condition one, I wouldn't downgrade it to take any money out of it. Like, I don't know. Once I have it, like once I've already forgotten the pain of paying for it, it's just like, oh, there it is. I could point to every single one of my complete in box NES games next to me that are in mint condition. And I love all of them. I don't care what I paid for them anymore. And none of them were like crazy, but, I'm looking at this Pictionary and I'm like, look at that shitty Pictionary I probably bought when I was, 16 years old. That look at that piece of shit, like making my shelf worse. And then, everything I bought in the past 3 to 5 years has like shrink wrap on it. There's no creases on the box anywhere. My standards are way higher and my collection is way better for it.
Mine too. As I've raised my bar, it has gone up. So there's been interesting cases because a lot of, I'm buying a lot of my dumb Halloween stuff, and it gets weird because sometimes some of this stuff just doesn't exist. And anytime I have to accept a copy, like just take a copy that I don't like, it's not what I want it to be, I don't feel good about it. And it has made me not buy things. It's changed some behavior. But when I've caved, I'm like, no, I really want this game because I really want to talk about this October. and I see that copy, I'm just like, man, I could have done better. I don't know, like, what was I thinking? And sometimes, like, your brain will try to trick you. You're like, this one's $50 though, and that one's $100. Like, that's half off. Like, do I care? $50? And I just encourage you to ask yourself in 5 years if you would care.
So we do have something working for us here, and there's this wonderful thing called the sealed video game market. And for the rest of us, like, people complain about sealed video game prices and all of that, but it's actually super good for people who want to collect complete in box, because let me look at a game. Ninja Gaiden 2, I'm just looking at my shelf. There is a 0% chance that Ninja Gaiden 2 is going to be like a $5,000 video game, because the $5,000 copies of Ninja Gaiden 2 will be sealed. There is some amount of sealed Ninja Gaiden 2s out there, and the crazy people that are going to ruin the market for everybody are only buying sealed copies. And the gulf in rarity between complete in box and sealed is so great. 10, 100 times, sometimes even fewer copies available of the sealed version, that they have to be so much higher in price that it kind of means that complete in box prices have a sort of limit compared to the sealed prices. And if there isn't that limit, if like a sealed game is twice the price of a complete in box game, I'll buy the sealed copy. I'm not even the biggest sealed guy, but sealed games are generally a condition upgrade from complete in box games. And there's a bunch of modern games I've bought. I'm talking like PS3, PS4, stuff like that, where if a sealed copy, if like a complete box copy is like $35 and a sealed copy is $50, yeah, I'll just buy the sealed copy. If it's not something I'm going to play, like, why not? It's in slightly better condition.
Here is my tip for all of our modern guys. Like, if you're buying 360 games, and yes, we're using modern loosely, buy it sealed. Like, I am looking through lots of modern games right now, just like trying to find inserts and stuff for them, because so much of it, like, too many things went through GameStop or game stores that didn't value inserts. It's worse. Like, you thought it was bad before, it's worse now than it's ever been. And because also, like, in modern games, they put like a lot of dumb shit in there that like just don't seem valuable. Like, oh, there's a coupon for this, and here's like an advertisement for this. They were doing that a lot in the 360 era. So you just get all this random stuff in there that like all these used game stores just pulled out and put it in the trash. So it's hard to find, like, or even know what super complete modern stuff is. And I don't want you in 5 years to be like, oh shit, this isn't as complete as I thought it was. Now I got to go back and find this dumb insert if I really cared about it. Just food for thought.
Johnny, I regret not buying more doubles of video games. I didn't do this for the longest time. I didn't do this probably until the past 5 years.
We're talking about owning less games, and you're like, I didn't buy more doubles?
Yes! I absolutely regret that, because, I mean, all right, we obviously have better variance knowledge now. We know more what to look for now. So yes, if I had bought more doubles, I would have had more variants, and I would have been able to, probably pick out randomly a lot of the nicer variants, and I just would have happened to have them. But also, I used to just be like, nah, I've got a copy of Castlevania already. That's kind of, say Castlevania was $100. Like, no, I'd rather spend $100 on a game that I don't have, even though this Castlevania is a decent deal and it looks really nice and all that kind of stuff. But it goes back to, like, once I already have it, like, I'm looking, I have, counting ones I can't see, I think I have 9 copies of Super Mario Brothers 3. But I know that, like, 3 of those are like mint copies of Super Mario Brothers 3. And I only have those because I like bought and I upgraded, and I was willing to just, is a Super Mario Brothers 3 kind of a game. Like, if you're 6 months into collecting NES games, you have Super Mario Brothers 3 and you don't ever think about it again. But I was only able to, like, pick the nice stuff, I guess, and get the better upgrades because I was willing to buy doubles, which I just like wasn't willing to do that for the longest time.
Yeah. The other thing, like, kind of in the same vein that I regret, and this is going to sound weird as well, I regret selling my doubles, because sometimes I would, like, you'd start being like, oh, this is a little bit nicer here, because I just think of how many games that I messed up I messed up the integrity of what actually came with that game by piecing things together. Like being like, oh, like I've got 2 copies of this because I bought these 2 lots. Let me make the nice copy.
And I mean, that's the other great part about having doubles is you can make the nice copy. You could start swapping stuff around that doesn't have a, you didn't notice that the date codes were different on these 2 manuals, but you swapped them. And
yeah, if you had kept your doubles, you would be able to fix it. Yeah, I regret not having those around, and like what I may have done. I just feel like I did harm early when I was collecting. I mean, no one cared. No one was doing anything. I regret the most that video game, even as a hobby, even when people are like, even now, taking it seriously, still aren't taking it seriously enough. Like, we're not documenting as well as we should be. And back then, we really weren't. That shit I still think about. That's like stuff that like rattles around in the back of my game. Or my head. I'm like, man, I had 3 copies of this game, and I think I mashed parts from all 3 of those into the one I kept. Ugh.
Like, obviously, I don't like that. I wouldn't swap anything at this point. Like, literally, unless I am going with like a microscope through components, because we're always learning stuff that like, oh yeah, you missed like this period on page 7. You could see it has a typo space after it that isn't there on the original event. Like, there's all this crazy stuff. So I just don't swap anything because basically whatever you're doing is wrong.
Yep.
But also with Complete in Box, which is the majority of what we collect, if not carts, it's part of the game in that so much of this stuff has happened. We're buying games from the 80s. So much of this swapping has happened over the past 30, 40 years that like you can't obsess over your copy of Pinball Quest and Paracadus Conflict and need them to be 1,000,000% complete. If you're like completely obsessing, and if you're looking at the date codes on your chips of Paracadus Conflict and like your manual, like just buy it sealed, that's the only thing that will make you happy. I think that it is worth obsessing about these things for The Legend of Zelda and Super Mario Brothers and Castlevania. But if you're going to own hundreds of video games, I don't think it's worth going crazy.
I mean, maybe it isn't. If you're documenting it, I hope you are being this obsessive. Please be this obsessive.
Just buy them sealed. Like, I'm not, again, not the biggest sealed guy, but whatever. I think for me, kind of like all boxed, kind of any cardboard box game is like pretty special on its face. I want those all to be correct, but like, man, if I have the wrong manual in an Xbox game and I'll never know about it, like, the effort it would take for me to document and go through all that and to figure out, like, it's not like I know which ones are incorrect. I would have to figure out what the correct every manual is and which one is correct for every Xbox game. Like, I'm not doing that. It's not worth even thinking about.
It's worth thinking about.
Oh my God. If you want your hobby, this is a great way to make your hobby last forever without buying anything new. Just start paging through all those Xbox manuals.
Yep. Make sure they're correct. Work harder, not smarter.
Also, you don't know what correct means or if there's even a manual variant. You got to figure all that out. Let us know when you find it.
Don't worry. There's a bunch of good lists that you can go look at, right? Right?
Yeah, we'll get one eventually. It's happening.
Okay.
We're going to get a catalog.
All right. Tyler, what else do we regret? What are our widespread regrets? Tyler and I, like, we kind of have a shared list because we did a lot of the same dumb shit.
I just put collecting carts. I have a few cartridge sets. I've got the NES set, the Super Nintendo set, and my Game Boy set are all carts. And I have all the good stuff complete, but I just was going through, I was just like filling the checklists on those because like it's a lot easier to buy. It's not easier. I guess it's easier to have $50 in your pocket and go check off a bunch of random checkboxes on a checklist rather than to save up $100 and buy one complete in box nice Game Boy game. And I was too caught up in the dopamine from checking off the checklists, I think. And it's fine. Like I don't want to sell my cartridge sets. I don't think they're fine, but I'd much rather have just bought the good stuff complete in box.
Yeah, so I got away from carts early. When I first started, I was into carts, and then I was like, you know what? I should be I should be buying the boxes. I messed up with the manuals because I was like, who cares about the manual? The game is the thing you play. The box is the thing you see. These are the important things. What a mistake. We already covered that, but man, so dumb. So just constantly paying for that over and over again.
We were at Portland Retro Gaming Expo with our friend Eric, Excitebike Comics and Games. Haven't seen him in a while. Don't know how he's doing.
Yeah.
We should have dropped in when I was there. And what was I about? I was finishing up my Super Nintendo set. It was kind of like the last thing that I was finishing up before I went crazy into like Japan and PC and early prints and stuff. And I just wanted to kind of like get it out of the way because it had, it was like something on my backlog for like 10, 15 years at that point. And he was just like looking at me like, Tyler, what are you doing? Why are you buying cartridges? You don't care about this stuff. This stuff isn't good. And I'm like, no, man, I gotta finish my cartridge set. I'm not gonna buy a complete in box Super Nintendo set, which I wasn't, and I still wouldn't, especially at the prices now. But he was like, dude, one day you're gonna think this stuff is all trash and you're gonna just throw it all out. And I'm like, no, shut up, Eric. What do you know? And like, here I am, like, yeah, I wouldn't buy a cartridge anymore. I kind of did get a lot of the ones that matter. I mean, NES, Super Nintendo, Game Boy. I have an N64 cartridge set too, so I exhausted my cartridge lists, and now I'm like, oh, why did I buy all these cartridges?
Whoops.
Yeah.
Whoops. Well, and that's without it, we don't have this episode. So congrats.
Yeah. One, don't collect for other people, but also, if there's a part of your game, your part of your brain that wants to show off your cool stuff on Instagram, no one cares about your fucking sets. All that bulk, all those shelves, that stuff fades into the background. Even to me, a seasoned collector, I walked into Johnny's room full of every set, every Nintendo set, PlayStation set, Sega set. I walked straight to the Sega Saturn games and I picked up Bootleg Sampler 2. And I was like, hell yeah, you have Bootleg Sampler 2. Fuck Panzer Dragoon Saga. I've seen Panzer Dragoon Saga. I've seen Snatcher. I've seen Musha. I walk to the weird stuff, and that's the stuff that excites me, the one-off stuff that isn't the stuff that fades into the background.
We're too deep though. Like this, like the shit that would impress, like this stuff the other stuff would impress the Reddit crowd, just because they aren't collecting at the level we are. Sorry, Reddit people. We need too much to get us excited. It's got to be something insane now to get us like out of our seats. That's what my Instagram feed became. That's why I'm deep in this Halloween nonsense. Well, because I love Halloween, but like I want to show you stuff like I know people don't care about this shit. Like what? I'm gonna go look at it because that's exciting to me. New stuff like Mario 3? Cool. Another Mario 3. Oh, it's Left Bros. Great. Yeah, everyone loves Mario. Cool. Show me the weird thing. That's what I want to see.
I think there's at least 3 levels to it. So, I mean, I think if something stands alone, it's worth owning. So I think Mario 3 still stands alone. Obviously, you should own a copy of Mario 3. Maybe it's not.
No, you should. I'm not saying don't own it, but I'm just like, I don't, like, if you show me on Instagram, I probably don't care.
Who posted, hold on, we're going to go early to the show off your games Collector's Quest thing. Ravens 5560 posted an Ikaruga and F-Zero GX, and man, something to me was just like, hell yeah, because those games rule. I know they're common games, they're not exciting, but they're still such good games.
Well, I mean, that's what you should have in your collection, though. He got told like he was buying other stuff. They're like, your collection isn't shit until you got these games in it, and he was like, yeah, you're right, those are good games. Like your collection should be full of good games, like that. That's ideal, right? Because good games you can always move. And like people are excited to see them if they're like looking around at them. Like when normal people come over, they are very excited to see a Super Mario 3 in my collection. They ask me like, oh, where's your Sonic? Where's your Mario? Like I get asked these questions. I literally just had people over who weren't like video game people and they wanted to see all the basic stuff because they weren't like hardcore collectors. But for me, that's why I'm saying for us to get us out of our seats, like showing me a Super Mario 3, I'm happy for you. I think like, if you say, hey, Johnny, do you think I did a good job buying Super Mario 3? The answer is yes. Like, good. You got that Mario 3. You got a nice one off your list. good job. But am I like, whoa, shit, yeah, Mario 3? Not really. It's just Mario 3. Show me something weird.
I still think Mario 3 is cool. I think what I'm trying to say is, even if you complete a set, even like a hard set, you complete like PS2 or something, like the bulk still doesn't impress me. Not, again, don't collect to impress people, but even if you went through collecting, 700 shitty games in the PS2 set compared to however many percentage of those are good, like, I'm not impressed by the PS2 set. I would still look at it and be like, oh, all right, what cool PS2 stuff you got? I mean, you have every PS2 game, so you must have like a test console or a prototype or something cool to show me.
See, I think if you showed me the PS2 set, I would be impressed, because I'm just like, that is a lot of games. What a hard set to do. That's so many games.
You're just two set collector brains still.
I know. And then I am so dumb. I would be like, ooh, what are the cool variants? Like, you got any cool variants in here?
Show me the cool variant. Yeah, Johnny, you could show me the PS2 set. You have like a trillion games, and you could come up tomorrow and be like, I have all 2,000 PS2 games. And I'd be like, great, show me, pull out the movie ticket variants. Let's look at them. I don't care about all these games. Show me the interesting stuff.
Yeah, that's essentially what I was saying.
All right. We got to move on.
We do.
I put misunderstanding quote unquote value. Oh, that just means, like, again, getting the 7 out of 10 for half the price of the 9 out of 10 is not a good value. It's not a good value now, and it'll be a worse value in the future. Don't collect to invest, but I mean, your stuff that is in nicer condition will definitely hold its value or increase in value more.
Don't collect. Don't collect to impress. Don't collect to invest if you don't want to. But be mindful of where you put your money, because that is you worked hard for your money. And like, I mean, unless you are rich, which I am not, and you are not, that like, these might have to turn into resources one day. So the better stuff you have, and if you ever have to move it, it's just going to reward you more down the line.
On a global scale, we are both incredibly rich.
On a global scale, yeah, but we're not rich Americans.
Well, why are we comparing ourselves to only America? Comparison is the theft of joy. Except if you compare yourself on a global scale to anything and you're like, oh my God, my life is so good. What did I do to deserve this? Johnny, I regret collecting arcade cabinets at all. I regret I had an M82 demo unit, which isn't even a demo unit that has a standee. It's just basically an extremely large VCR, imagine. It's an NES demo unit that can play 12 different cartridges. All this big stuff, I don't think anyone has reasonable room for it. You know what? Arcade cabinets, if you're willing to dedicate like an entire basement or garage, yeah, you've got room for arcade cabinets or some pinball machines or something. But like decorative stuff, standees and kiosks, like stuff that you don't actually use, like, no way.
No, terrible. Do not want any of that. I'm so glad I did not really get into that stuff. And when I did buy big stuff, I got rid of it. You know what? I just, all that big clutter, I don't want it. I don't want any of it. I regret owning as many consoles as I do.
I had consoles. I'm happy I don't collect hardware. And part of it's probably from me getting into like arcade stuff. Like I had a P-47, the Phantom Fighter was my first arcade cabinet. And I had a big MAME cabinet at one point. I traded my entire MAME cabinet for a sealed copy of Pokemon Yellow to my coworker. I would have given him that MAME cabinet for free just because I was so sick of having it in my house.
Oh man, you got a good deal.
Yeah, I used to, dude, I went to the arcade. I used to go to arcade auctions a lot, and I would come home with like redemption games, and I'll be like, wouldn't it be fun to play this redemption game for free as much as I want? I bought a fucking silent scope. I brought this thing home from the auction in a U-Haul with like 6 other games or something. I played Silent Scope once. Once. The novelty wore off after I played it once, and I never played it again, and I sold it for like $200 because arcade cabinets used to be pretty cheap. So not only is the space thing with arcade games, like, man, I think like there's this, it comes with like an aesthetic, right? You see the big fancy game room from the big YouTubers, and they used to have arcade cabinets. Now they probably have stupid I'm8-bit cabinets, but like, it's like, oh, how cool is it to have an original arcade cabinet in your game room? It's not. there are so few arcade games that are that you'll actually play like over and over again. Like I would,
No.
man, like they're not all like Silent Scope bad, but it has to be like a game you are willing to grind at and like go for like world record score type thing. Or maybe it's something like a Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, like an arcade game that people play to this day and the gameplay holds up. Because let me tell you, P-47, the Phantom Fighter, I was not playing that game all the time. Literally every time I played that was try to justify the space it was taking up in my house.
Dude, there's a reason that people buy MAME cabinets, because when you just look at one game that the space, the size and space of that thing is not worth whatever the game is in there 99% of the time. So I get the appeal of MAME cabinets, but also, kind of,
Yeah.
I think if you're buying an arcade cabinet or even a pinball, that you better love the aesthetic of that thing. You better be very satisfied with that as a decoration. Because if you are like, no, I just like to play this game, I think you are going to be disappointed or not realize how little you actually use that thing.
Also, if you have it as a decoration, you better like how it looks off, because you're only going to turn it on to take Instagram pictures.
Yeah.
I bet that's what happens with all the IM 8-bit cabinets too.
Oh, man.
Also, don't get a MAME cabinet. So, like, having an arcade cabinet is one bad decision. I could understand if you're like the Mortal Kombat 2 guy and you need a Mortal Kombat 2 arcade cabinet. Like, yeah, that makes sense, because that's a game that you're already like way into and play all the time. But with a MAME cabinet, once you have 4,000 games in a giant menu, it just encourages you to play a game for 3 minutes, drop out, play a different game. Like, you can't focus on anything. That's why I hate ROM packs. I hate flash carts with every single ROM opened up on it. It really helps me to have, in the NES sense, to take the cartridge off my shelf, put it in an NES. That's the best way for me to play a game, because I can't tab out and go to Reddit or something, or load up a different ROM easily. It really forces me to focus and play through the entire game.
Oh, to me, people look at Netflix like a good thing. I do not feel that way. I feel the paralysis of too much choice, and like then I can't decide, or especially if you're with multiple people and that everyone's looking at this giant list of things, like it's just impossible to narrow it down. Limitations are sometimes the best thing for you.
Yeah, like even on like my emulator, so believe it or not, I emulate stuff even though I own all these games.
Oh shit! Shut up,
tell
Tyler.
The feds.
You're losing credibility.
I'm looking through. I've got 20 ROMs right now, and a lot of them are just games I play every year. I've got all the Ninja Gaiden games. I've got the Super Mario Brothers one, Punch Out, which I was trying to get better at. And then like I download individually the games I want to play. Because if I had all 1,000 NES games in here, I would still get the thing where it's like, oh, I'm not feeling Capcom's Gold Medal Challenge. Maybe I'll just, back out and go play something else. Maybe that's better. I don't know. Having just the one ROM I'm playing really helps me focus.
Yeah, I mean, I also just, like I said, I would just be like, oh my God, maybe I don't want to play this. Maybe there's this one. I just like, you will waste too much time looking at shit before you can even decide. At least I do. I don't want that.
So the way to fix that is to buy one big game and to buy an arcade cabinet. Wait, don't buy an arcade cabinet. Wasn't the whole point not to buy an arcade cabinet?
Yes, because you will, and that's what you will realize, that even though you pick that one, you're not going to get the use out of it. And then you're going to be like, oh my God, I can never switch this.
Okay, there is a bigger mistake than an arcade cabinet. It's an IM 8-bit cabinet. No, there's a bigger mistake than that. It's a virtual pinball cabinet. So I didn't have a virtual pinball cabinet, but I did have a cocktail cabinet where I built it so you could tilt the screen up and it would turn into a virtual pinball cabinet.
That sounds amazing.
Oh, it certainly does sound amazing. Virtual pinball is terrible. I don't know how much of this comes off as being a pinball snob. All virtual pinball is bad. So you have this idea in your head, man, if I just buy one virtual pinball machine, it would be like having every pinball machine, which is not the case. Literally any single pinball machine. The worst game I could think of is, I think, a Bally El Toro. It's the worst pinball machine ever made. Probably get it for like $700. I would rather have a Bally El Toro than the best virtual pinball machine with all the like nudging physics going on and tilt sensors, and it has real mechanical solenoids that imitate knocking sounds of real pinball machines, because I think that is how bad it feels to play virtual pinball. And part of it's like input lag, because playing virtual pinball does not feel like playing real pinball, because there is like that 50 milliseconds of input lag, which when you compare it to a real pinball machine, which is real physics, it's a lot.
So I do think that comes off as pinball snob.
Okay.
I played a lot of virtual pinball, like through, God, what were they called? That were like on Xbox and PS3. Like you could.
Yeah, they had Zen not Zen Pinball.
Yeah, Zen.
Zen has like the weird stupid tables. Yeah, we could talk about virtual pinball if you want.
Yeah, well, it was like Zen. Well, yeah, I forget.
Pinball Arcade was the one that has the real tables.
Yeah. So. And I had both of those, and lots of tables for both of those. I enjoyed them. Like I found some joy playing those. I didn't hate those. It's not the same though. I don't consider it playing real pinball. And even when you get like an emulation of a real table, like Twilight Zone or something, this is not the same experience. And to judge them as the same, I think if you think you're replicating that experience, it is not going to be true to life. But we don't need to talk about this.
All right. So as a pinball snob, Johnny. So yes. All right, fine. I'm a pinball snob. I have played at like pinball shows the high-end $10,000 virtual pinball cabinets, which is an absolutely ridiculous price to pay for a virtual pinball cabinet. And because it replicates the experience of like standing at a real pinball machine, but like you can't move your head around because it's not actually a 3D space in there. And like, I want to be able to shake the cabinet, but it doesn't respond in the same way as a real cabinet would. I think that playing that same game on an iPad is actually a better experience. I would actually prefer to play virtual pinball on my iPad than I would at a $10,000 machine. So
why?
Don't buy a virtual pinball
I don't
machine.
care. Yeah, well, this is
because
a whole
when I'm playing it in the virtual pinball machine, I want it to behave like a real pinball machine, but it doesn't behave like a real pinball machine. When I'm playing it on my iPad, it's a video game, and that's fine. It's just a video game.
So you're being you feel like you're being tricked, and then it's too close, and then it's not happening. So
I guess it's the uncanny uncanny valley of pinball when you're standing at a virtual pinball machine compared to if I'm playing on an iPad, it's just a video game.
So they had this one at Portland where it's a standing one, but it's like a long screen that goes like it's more like an arcade cabinet than a pinball machine.
Yeah, so they're completely vertical. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
those are worse.
I liked those. I was like. No, I liked that. I was like, this is cool. Like,
so those are worse because now so for people who don't know what we're talking about, imagine an arcade cabinet but with a TV screen on its side. So it's basically pointed straight up. So now you kind of have the physics of pinball, but like it doesn't behave as if you would expect gravity to because you're looking kind of straight at it. So it's like weird, right?
No, see, because I'm not expecting. I'm not thinking about the gravity when I play.
If I've got my fingers on buttons on the side of a machine, I'm thinking about gravity when I play.
No, it's the same way I don't think about when I'm playing any video game. I don't think about the gravity of like, hey, is he falling correctly? Like everything, it's unto itself. Anyways,
if any of you are thinking about buying an $8,000 virtual pinball machine, I'm willing to have the longest conversation with you about it to talk you out of it. We're going to go on Facebook and find you a real pinball machine. It's going to be great.
Hey, Tyler, I thought about it.
You have a real pinball machine.
Well, that was the end result, wasn't it?
Is that broken? Do we need to fix your pinball machine?
My sound. I got to fix the sound fuse.
All right. Yeah, it's just a fuse, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm 90% sure the whole soundboard didn't go out. If only I had somebody who knew how to fix pinball machines close to me.
All right, Johnny, I was just brainstorming more. I think we already talked about this. I wrote not buying things when they were available / waiting for deals / bidding low.
I mean, I think these are kind of three different things, but I agree with all three of them.
So I think what I'm trying to say is I have never regretted winning an auction. Even the auctions where I like spent 110% of my budget on something, it's really easy. I mean, this is bad advice in terms of budgeting, but it is really easy for me to just buy less stuff in the future. I finally have the one thing I want. This was the one copy. This was it in the variant I want, in the condition I want. It finally came up, and I'm not trying to bid the exact market price. Maybe I go, 30% over what I think the actual market price is because I've been waiting 2 years for this exact thing to come up. And I'm not going to nickel and dime myself and wait another 2 years. And I've never once regretted winning something, even things that have gone for like crazy prices. And it's not just because in general, most stuff has gone up over time.
So this is a little different. I feel a little differently here. So I don't regret waiting for deals because most stuff is common and will come back. Now, what I regret is when I did see the nicest one or a weird variant that I didn't go harder at it. I regret when I lose those ones every single time. So uncommon stuff, like whatever, wait for a deal. Don't get suckered into the fight. Like I've regretted bidding too aggressively at something and then like on a game that I know I'm just raising the floor of artificially. I hate that feeling.
Yeah.
I regret every time that's happened. But when it is the nice copy, the unique copy, the weird thing, the thing I truly am after, the thing that that's an itch in the back of my brain that I will be thinking about every single day until I own it, I regret every time that I have tried to play the finance game with myself on that.
So, I mean, don't just go bid crazy until you win something because it's shiny. But the worst thing is when you lose an auction and then you look at the end price and you're like, I would have paid that. Or I would have paid, $50 more than that. So like, and I think this is something that comes down to like, I like the FOMO and excitement of a real auction because I never end a real auction and I'm like, I would have paid that. But when I'm setting up a snipe early, I'm cheap with my snipes a lot of the time because I don't put a lot of. I'm not like sitting there and stewing over things. Something hits my save search, I put in a snipe. It's probably a low ball, and I get on with my life. But man, sitting at an auction and just looking at it and being like, I should have just bid $50 more. I remember some of those auctions from like years ago.
So I think that, but again, this regret comes around for good stuff. And if you are following our earlier advice of only buying the nice good stuff, then this is going to be something that corrects itself. You're not going to be like, oh, I bid too hard at Wizard of Oz on the Super Nintendo and Wolfchild on the Sega Genesis.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
You are going to be buying nice and good stuff. And that's what we're talking about here. It's not just like be super aggressive with anything. Like you have to be buying the right things already.
The other side of this coin is that we are collecting mass-produced objects. The vast majority of us are collecting mass-produced objects. You will have another chance to buy this. And you know what? No matter how hot the market is, if you were in if it was July 2021 and you needed a Hang Tab Castlevania for the NES, you might have been looking at that and being like, if I don't buy it now, I'll just never have a chance to buy it again because all the sports cards and comics people are going to buy them all up and someone's going to buy out the market and it's going to be $500 more in 2022. And, look at how we are sitting here. Even as hot as it seemed then, like prices are like 25% of what they were on some of the stuff that was selling in 2021.
Yeah. Again, people notoriously bad at predicting the future.
Going into that, I think that the whole thing is I've misjudged the reality of what missing out actually is. Basically, every time I thought now is the time to buy this, whether it was a limited run game or some special edition thing or something came up and I thought it was the only time it would ever come up, I have had another chance to buy a lot of it.
Yeah, I sometimes see yes and no. Again, with common stuff, with basic stuff, yes, as I was saying before, certain items you need to know. But you said you're misjudging the reality. So it's like you really actually need to understand when you are missing out versus when your brain is playing the FOMO trick on you.
Okay, if I'm finding a horror PC 98 game, Johnny, that has not hit my save search for 2 years, sure. I'm talking about Nintendo is announcing the limited edition Zelda thing, or Limited Run Games has Downwell on PS4, some stupid bullshit. Like, so
Yeah.
I wrote down, I bought every early limited run game. I'm talking from game like number 3 to game like 100. I bought all of them because I'm like, wow,
Same.
these games are crazy. They're selling out in 4 seconds. I mean, I got to get all of them because once these are gone, where are these going to go? How is anyone going to complete the set? And one, people are just not going to complete the PS4 set because people don't care. And two, they're all on eBay. No one who bought them actually wanted them.
Yeah, they all got tricked by FOMO. And that's what I was saying. Like, you have to understand when you actually, like, understanding the objective reality versus when you've been tricked into FOMO. And this is why you and I are both so hard on limited run games. I get messages like, man, you guys really shit on limited run games. Fuck you guys. Like, people get mad at me. And I don't care. Like, we know because we've made the mistake. You and I both did this. We both own all that early bullshit. And I own more than you. And I just
you went into like Vita and stuff, you stupid idiot.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. It's so much dumb shit. So look, I know we were tricked. There are cool games to own. There are fun things to own there. I'm not saying don't own anything from limited run games, but don't get yourself tricked. Don't get launched into FOMO and understand when you are actually missing out. And that was your point. Know what that means, because a lot of this is just your brain tricking you and you are buying mass produced stuff. Like, again, whatever special edition item on the Switch, do you really care about this? Is this really a thing you are actually missing out on? Or are you just saving money? Like, ask yourself that. Am I missing out or am I saving money?
Also, for even like the best of the best limited run game or whatever, like, oh, I could have bought this for $200 and now look at eBay, they're $800. I understand we say this a lot. If you had just put that money in the fucking stock market and waited, like, whenever you want to actually own that thing, like, oh man, if it's $800 in 10 years, like, you will probably have just been fine if you just didn't buy it and just like waited, and inflation and people will be less interested in this random thing from 2025, 10 years from now. Most stuff, like, there is stuff that is clearly timeless. I don't think The Legend of Zelda is going anywhere. Right now on limitedrungames.com, for all you people who are like, oh, but they put out such good stuff, you could buy the Shantae Advance Risky Revolution Collector's Edition for $175 goddamn dollars. Like, goddamn, they put out a lot of Shantae Collector's Editions. You do not need to spend $200 in another Shantae thing. Did you buy this, Johnny?
I don't know the first Shantae one.
This is the like, you can buy the Nintendo Switch version of the GBA Shantae game for $175. What are we even doing, guys? That is a $140 premium over just buying the game to get like a plush and some other garbage. You can buy the Bubsy in the Perfect Collection for $150 and get all the Bubsy games.
Here's the thing. There are no perfect Bubsy collections.
Oh, man.
Owning Bubsy, that's an oxymoron.
Bubsy's
Sorry,
underrated.
Bubsy fans.
What's up? What's up, Bubsy 1 and 2 gang? And Bubsy 3D. All the Bubsy games are underrated. Come at me.
They're not. They are perfectly rated. They are fine.
They're fine. But most people think they're like unplayable. And they're like fine.
Look, fine is fine. You can go buy them. They're not expensive. Is it worthy of a big, like, special edition limited run thing? Absolutely not.
You know what you could do instead? You know, we always say this, but you know what you could do instead? You could buy all the Bubsy games, and they're probably less than $150.
You can get those sweet Accolade boxes, those those computer style boxes that don't have a good name.
All right. And so, all right. I said, no matter what, just put the money in the stock market. All right. So forget about that. If you just.
Yeah, you like put it in a Vanguard index fund, VSTAX. That's your Vanguard. It's your general path to passive wealth. Please look into it.
But even if, so like maybe 1 in 100 of these stupid FOMO releases actually gets like worth seriously more money. A lot of it just kind of stays the same price on eBay. Basically, most of the stuff, people buy it, they hope it goes up in price. It ends up not going up in price, and they're trying to sell it on eBay for essentially the price they bought it for. And so much of this stuff is on eBay for that. And then, 1 in 100 things, maybe 1 in 50 things will get a significant premium on eBay. But if you just don't buy all the stupid FOMO stuff and you just wait, And there is like, oh wow, this Castlevania limited run thing. I don't know why you would buy a limited run collection anyway, but that one's worth $400 now. If you just buy that, you'll still spend less money than if you keep trying to chase things looking for the thing that will be exciting and collectible.
Oh, that's an episode of Collector's Quest coming up. Early limited run, was it worth it?
We're gonna okay, I am so willing to go dig out all my stupid PS4 games, whatever I bought. I think I bought all, even when they switched over to the Nintendo Switch stuff, I kept buying PS4 versions because I was like, well, PS4 is the more powerful console, so clearly these will be more collectible.
Oh, you are a dummy.
Listen, we were coming off the Wii U, okay? The Switch had not turned into what it is now. All right, the Wii U was fucking trash. Even though I was really down on the Switch on the early thing because I'm like, it's just all ports. So I was not going to go buy limited run game ports that were worse than the PS4 versions.
Hey, here's the thing. We're just going to go to Limited Run's website. We're going to download a list of every game that they've ever made. Oh, wait a minute.
Well, if we're only doing the early stuff, there are community copies of the early stuff. There's just not a community copy of everything they've ever put out anymore because it turns out no one cares.
I mean, don't worry. It's a site for collectors, by collectors, right? Forever Physical, except their lists, which were once upon a time digital and then gone.
Johnny, I'm just going to segue this, unless you're doing the segue.
No, I was just going to say, I love this as an idea. Like, we look at the first 2 years of limited run and look at where it started, where it is, and what its highs were.
I put that I regret all of my lists. Basically, every list and database I've ever made. You know, it's a hobby, so it was fun. You know, basically, that's the fun part of the hobby is going through and documenting all your stuff and all that. And I think I did a bad job with all of them that I ever did in all 20 years I've been collecting.
Oh yeah, that's you didn't write that. I wrote that.
Oh, okay.
That was me.
For the time period and for what information was publicly available, I think my Xbox list is pretty good.
Yeah, except it didn't have Ninja Gaiden Black.
You did correct that one minor mistake that I forgot an entire video game. But you know, I used to not document my condition. I used to not document variants very well. I used to only put one version of a game on a list, even if I had multiple copies, because I would basically check it off the list. And even if I had multiple copies, I'd just be like, well, I have it.
Yep.
And like, I would basically, if I was to redo it all, which I wouldn't even waste my time at this point, but I would put more information than I thought I wanted on the thing. And especially, I think I would want pictures. I would just, pictures of everything. If I was really putting the effort into a list, no matter how much information I write down into a text box, having a picture is the thing I really want.
Oh, worth 1,000 words, eh?
It's worth 1,000 words.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. Everything, all your lists are bad, and I always say, including mine, every document, I'm building my dumb list of Halloween stuff, and even now, I was building it. I'm like, I still don't have this right. How am I still doing this not well enough? Moved over to Airtable for a lot of stuff because at least I could drag pictures in there, and I'm like, okay, this is already 1,000% better than what I was doing. Just having pictures.
If it sounds like a waste of time, guys, welcome to Hobbies. What we're doing is we're spending our earthly hours that we have left on this mortal coil, toiling away, doing work for the sheer joy of it. So go ahead, document your collection properly, and I want pictures of every insert, both sides. Open up those manuals. If they got a date code in those NES manuals, I need pictures that'll date those date codes. Because, man, if you're at a convention or if you're just browsing eBay at work and something cool comes up and you're just like, I don't know if I have that exact variant, if I should bid on this, nothing more convenient than actually knowing. And because you bought too many games, you can't go dig it out because you don't know exactly what box you have your stupid cartridge in or whatever. So you don't, do I have do I have the white jersey Wayne Gretzky when I made this collection database in 2011? I didn't write down which one it was, and then you got to go dig it up. Get pictures of all your stuff, Johnny. I don't know how
have
many people are
pictures on this.
realistically going to take this advice, but oh my God, nothing would be better than a collection database where I had pictures of all my stuff.
Oh, I know. That used to be part of like why when I was buying dumb stuff like Instagram, I'm like, oh well, like this is kind of me documenting all the dumb shit I bought. Like, let me just put a picture on Instagram. At least I know what I bought, like what I have. I can always go back through there.
I've done that before. I have gone through my old Instagram pictures because it's easier to find the stuff I'm looking for than to go dig up, whatever I needed physically.
Yeah, all the time. And that's the beauty of pictures. And if you have like, I love Airtable. I don't love the mobile version of Airtable, but man, like when I'm on the computer, just like, and I can drag 15 pictures, just like when I'm doing my list now to buy stuff. And I'm like, all right, this is a Halloween game I want. Here's what it looks like. And I drag all like 10 different boxes I've seen for it into like one thing. And I'm just looking at the entry. I'm like, okay. Then I'm like creating individual entries for each one of those boxes. Man, having pictures is so good. And then like when you see another one, you're like, okay, now I'm buying one. Like I've decided to buy. You have this picture and you're like, oh, it doesn't have this insert, or oh, I didn't see that insert the first time. Let me update this picture. Man, pictures. That's where it's at. We all need pictures.
The biggest regret of all, not having pictures of everything we own.
Yep.
You know what makes it easier to have pictures of everything, Johnny? Buying less stuff. Just saying.
Yeah. Own less things and own them sealed. Then you don't even need to take a picture of the inside.
Yeah, you could just have your whole video game collection in like 5 games. That's what a lot of like these really big guy collectors do. They have like, I don't know, 5, 10, 20 games. Just go ahead and do that. $40,000 a game, no problem. There's your retirement.
Here's a theory you'll understand. Okay, someone's got a Black Lotus for trade. Would you think they would trade you their Black Lotus for like your Xbox collection or whatever, or like a bunch of your sets?
Okay, I thought you were going to say, in a more relatable example, if someone has a fetch land, let's say a magic card worth $20, are they going to trade it for 4 magic cards worth $5? The answer is always no. No one wants to trade down for lower value stuff.
Yeah, I'm not trading big for small. The only people who trade big for small are dealers who are getting a premium on that, and they can get stuff out and move it.
Yeah, this is a great example because I think a lot of people have played trading card games, and when you're 11 years old, you have a rare binder, and your rare binder is just all your junk rares, and you have people tabbing through it, and guess what? No one wants any of your junk. So you know the feeling of no one, you see like the shiny thing you want, and you're like, oh, check out my binder. And even though like, oh, you could have 20 of these cards and it would add up in value to even more, but like no one wants to do that. So you as a collector should be trading up by buying the more premium stuff to begin with.
Yes.
But you know what? Maybe don't have a video game collection that's $40,000 games. Maybe you can have some kind of happy middle ground between these two extremes.
That sounds like a lot of risk put into 4 games.
Yeah, but that's the only way you're going to become a millionaire. So, do you ever think of that? I mean,
no,
basically, come on. Like Gen Alpha and Gen Z, the only way to financial freedom is to hit it big in crypto, right? So we're basically just doing the same thing in video games.
Again, VSTAX, it's Vanguard Fund. That covers the whole stock market.
We're literally doing an After Dark on this, Johnny. We're going to get people set up on Vanguard.
Okay.
We're going to fix ourselves. We're going to set up automatic deposits because if you see money in your bank account, you're going to spend it on video games. So we're going to set up automatic deposits so you don't do that.
People are going to think that we are shills for them and we are being paid by them.
It doesn't. It's the most popular investment company. They've got like trillions of dollars of assets under management. It's like telling people to shop at Walmart. Like, oh, what are you, a Walmart shill? No, it's the most popular place to go buy stuff.
I mean, I prefer Target, but you know.
Target got canceled. Get out of here.
Okay. No, but you know how people are. They're going to be like, oh, what is this, a sponsored episode? No, we would have said hashtag sponsored at the beginning of the show. You know how many episodes we've done that have been sponsored, Tyler?
Maybe 2/3 of them have been sponsored by our Patreon.
Yeah. No, but I mean sponsored by like a company.
Well, we did have that stretch where we were sponsored by Audible for a while.
Yeah. Audible. But no, Tyler, the answer is every single one of our episodes. We are continually sponsored by Cheap Cheap Games. If you need imports, be sure to hit up Red the Game Shark, and you'll get your games cheap.
Yeah, we're also not sponsored. We were never sponsored by Amazon. No. I feel bad about having a Patreon. I hate all monetization on everything, but we did have hosting costs to pay, and at least those are paid now.
Yeah, it pays for us to do a couple little things. We don't.
I do spend many hours of my week on this show. I understand.
Yeah. Yes. Don't feel bad. All right.
John,
I had to get over it too.
You put not being open to other regions earlier, eh?
Yes.
Is Japan cool, Johnny?
Japan is cool. Look, I think if you're buying the best stuff or cool stuff, you know, like I would rather have, like, we have sets. We're set guys, and like my brain is always going to be oriented that way. But I wish I had been thinking about cooler stuff sooner, like less about sets and just about buying the best, coolest stuff. And some of that just didn't come here, right? And I think people are getting it wrong. Like, even if you're like, oh, I'm never getting into that. Like, what about Banana Prince? Like, or just Devil World or Mr. Gimmick? Like, just easy things. Like, obviously, most obvious answer is obvious, right? Like, I wish I owned these things, and had I been more open to, like, I'm not touching a PAL game or a Japanese game, I might have owned more of these things already.
Yeah, I always, I guess early on in my collecting, I 100% siphoned PAL down to basically like, okay, I've got the US set, and then there's these 20 PAL exclusives or whatever. And then, you know, I wouldn't even collect the PAL exclusives because there was always something to push off. And then Japanese stuff, it was hard to find a set list I was happy with, so I just would end up not collecting anything in Japan. Back then I bought a bunch of shooters because it was cool to import shooters. But so say the Famicom set, I've redone my Famicom set list numerous times. So if, when I originally started collecting and I looked at a Famicom list, I don't know what 95% of the games are. And I look at it's like, okay, Olden, I guess this one's Fazanadu, and I can recognize the ones that are just NES games, but like everything else, it's like, okay, I got to go play 1,000 games to understand what this list even represents. And so I'd start like organizing and be like, all right, which ones are playable in English? Which ones are playable in English and exclusive to Famicom? And it was like a lot of work just to start understanding the Famicom list. And so like I would like ignore things like the Sega Saturn or the PC Engine, because like it was already so much work to just understand what was even playable or interesting in the Famicom list. And I think I only really started collecting more Japanese once I got over the idea that I have to own everything and buy everything as a set, and everything has to be complete, and I'm a collector, so collectors complete sets.
Yeah, this is like a lot of my Halloween stuff is like kind of shook that out of me too. Like, oh, if I could have just been being exposed to this stuff sooner, and like, again, I would own less stuff, but maybe cooler stuff, and that would be probably better than owning all these sets. Though I love my sets. Like in reality, if I didn't have to worry about consequence or space or anything, or who it affects, like I told you, I've said on the show what my dream is, and it's like a giant warehouse full of games that are like meticulously cataloged by people I have working for me. Like, and this is my only endeavor. If I was FU rich, like the things I would be doing would be insane. Because I wouldn't be like, oh, this is bankrupting me, or this is hurting me financially if I do this. Be like, I don't give a shit. I'm going to go spend $20 million on my video game collection because I got $200 million, and watch what an insane person I am.
And you're going to go listen to the podcast afterwards just to be like, I want to hear these guys react to my $55,000 GameCube I just bought.
Yeah. Yes. I would not be buying a $55,000 GameCube.
Oh, come on. You've got unlimited money. You could do it.
I've got, yes, unlimited money, but there's also unlimited games. Like, in a GameCube is a basic ass bitch thing. Like, I got a GameCube.
You don't understand. It's one of one. Pop one until someone grades another one.
Man, you know what else doesn't impress me? Anything fucking graded by VGA.
Oh man, I don't want to have a debate on the different companies.
Oh, is VGA a company? They're not just like three hamsters in a room that randomly fucking will grade anything because they own some plexiglass?
Johnny, as someone who has spent a good portion of my adult life, of my entire life, thinking about video game minutia and studying video games, do you know who the best video game grader is? It's me. So people debate like, oh, who's better? Who grades the harshest? CGC or WADA or VGA? Who is the best reputation? The best thing is I'll just take any game and I will look at it with my eyeballs. Because once I own an object, if I look at that for 2 minutes, I've looked at it for longer than the grading company looked at it. So I'm the best grader of video games. Fuck all the companies. All of them have graded bootlegs. All of them people have disagreed with the grades. So just use your fucking eyeballs.
Well, look, I'm not grading a lot of stuff. I'm just saying, like, just again, if you like, just buy a nice one. Again, it comes back to just go buy a nice acrylic case and put your thing in it. If you got a nice one, it's okay.
Acrylic cases are very expensive.
Oh yeah, more expensive than grading it.
I mean, no, because grading stuff's very expensive. I want custom acrylic stuff, or I want like custom box protectors for a lot of my big box PC games, and it's just like it's real expensive.
Yeah.
I just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, imagine if you sent that to VGA just to get an 80 on it.
And then an 80 EverQuest just sold for like $3,000. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
EverQuest?
No.
I mean, it's EverQuest, important game. I think that should be a collectible game, but Jesus Christ, $3,000 for EverQuest, VGA 80?
Maybe we're wrong. Maybe in the list from last episode, it's going to be EverQuest.
Right? Yeah. People are going to forget about WoW, and they know that EverQuest came earlier and thus is a more historically important game because everything earlier automatically more important. Huh?
So, yeah. All right, I'm transitioning us to the next thing.
That's a good
that I regret. Maybe this is our last thing, unless you got anything you want to add on this. I regret buying stupid things. And I know we've said a lot of these purchases are stupid.
What a regret.
Yeah, but I regret, and there's a whole stupid thing category I have here. I regret buying like these pirate games, ROM hacks, translations. Like you just think these are cool. They suck. Like that just buy the real thing. Like again, had I been more open to regions, I wouldn't have bought, because I love RPGs, right? So I bought a bunch of these RPGs that had translation patches. I'm like, oh, until I could play it one day. So stupid. Like the ROMs existed when I was doing this with patches. I could have just played it that way if I wanted to. Just buy the original thing. Just buy the original thing. I bought this thing from Time Walk Games. Okay, cool.
There's going to be a lot of people listening who don't know what this is. So let's say, I don't know, the mid 2010s, maybe early 2010s, a company called Time Walk Games put out a bunch of nice bootlegs. So they would take like a Super Famicom game, put a ROM hack, like a translation patch on it, and then make like a nice box, a nice manual. And it would be the Time Walk Games, like exclusive reproduction. And so they were nicer than like the crap you would get off AliExpress. And there were and still are people who put a premium on these. Like they have no rights to anything they make. They're just putting out bootlegs. But because they made nice bootlegs, they're essentially like PCE Works on the PC Engine, making like not just bootlegs, but like counterfeits, like really good stuff. People put a premium on them and want to collect Time Walk releases. I don't see as much of that anymore, but there were people like collecting this absolute trash.
Oh yeah, just so much of the stuff. I have so many, Tyler. Like Bahamut Lagoon, Star Ocean, Seiken Densetsu 2. Just shit like this.
There was the one game, it was a bootleg, the comic game that caused an actual lawsuit. I think that one would actually be cool to own.
Oh, what was
something,
that? Dark
Black something,
Shadow or
Shadow something.
Oh, yeah.
Shadowhawk, is that it?
Was that it? It might have been Shadowhawk. What they were like, it was like Malibu Comics or one of these bullshit comic publishers.
Yeah.
That had it.
So there was a prototype SNES game, and they put out one of these companies put out a bootleg release of it, and there was an actual lawsuit to get it shut down. So the fact that a company cared about, like, this must have sold like fucking 50 copies. So the fact that the license owner cared enough to get this shut down, that makes that interesting for me to own. I would own one of those.
Oh yeah, me too. But like, let me not wow you with some more of these games that I have copies of. Mega Man and Bass. Or Bass, depending on how.
Mega Man and Bass. That's
Mega Man and Bass, Mega Man and Fish. That's Treasure of Rondaris shit like this. This is like, dude, just such dumb stuff.
Guys, if you want cool games that no one owns, go get some homebrew. Don't regret any of the homebrew I bought. A lot of the homebrew I bought like has not gone up in value. Like most homebrew, it's a situation where it's like one buyer, one seller. So a lot of it sells for basically what the original price was. Maybe the seller puts a bit of a premium on it because they're a jerk, even though there's only one buyer for any of this stuff. But yeah, like the rarest NES games, bar none, it's all homebrew because like a lot of this stuff sells like 50, 100 copies.
Yeah.
Go get some homebrew.
I don't,
it's way cooler.
I don't mind like, oh, I have like Chrono Trigger Crimson. Remember that when that was like all the rage?
Nope. Do not remember that.
Oh, that was the rage. But I don't like, it doesn't matter. This is a thing that no one cares about. Like, but like Zelda BS, I don't mind that because there's not like a physical version of that.
Don't do that.
But I'm not saying you should. I'm like, I don't regret that one so much, like compared to the rest of them. But I don't think I should own any of those. So just like all that money, and I'm looking at like 30 of these things that I own, and that money, that's like, these are minimum $50 a pop, right? At least. That's 50 times 30. That's a lot of money. That's a really good game.
Yep. I'll admit one that I bought probably for like $100. Legend of Link. So
okay.
You couldn't play this on a flash cart. It was like too big to fit on whatever. I have like a power pack, and the power pack has like some maybe compatibility issues with some of the more complex games. You couldn't play Legend of Link on a flash cart. And I was at the time I was like, oh, original hardware only, please. And I wouldn't play it on an emulator. So I bought a Legend of Link reproduction, and the game is like, it's one of these games that's so big they had to like kill a cartridge of Lemperor or something to make it. So it was like $100 reproduction, and then I think the game is dog shit. So that was a pretty big waste for me.
Nice. I think I have like a de-resed Final Fantasy VII somewhere.
Johnny, my last most specific regret was Johnny, I'm like 36 years old. So I grew up in the 2000s, or like, I was like a teenager in the 2000s. And what was cool in the 2000s? There's GameCube and PS2 and Xbox, and I had already bought everything before that. I was collecting N64 and Genesis and NES and Atari and Sega Saturn, and I wanted to start collecting a modern console because, like when we started collecting, like modern stuff was pretty uncollectible. And at some point I decided like, okay, this stuff's getting old enough where I feel like I want to collect some of it. And I chose to buy the Xbox set rather than the PS2 or the GameCube set, which was absolutely the wrong choice.
You made a good choice because we got an Xbox list out of that.
Man, if you want to know about Xbox, I know a lot about Xbox now, which is, I guess, interesting because like there are so many people who know about GameCube. I know nothing about GameCube. I know nothing about PS2. And there's like a couple Xbox guys. Like I know like Pirate Pimp and like Dan Gomez obviously know more about Xbox than me. But like I'm pretty good. Come at me with some Xbox stuff.
Yeah.
Which is the wrong thing. I thought it would be cool because it's like, well, it's Microsoft's first console. Like PlayStation's cool, NES is cool, so Xbox is gonna be cool. And I'm like, fuck Xbox. I don't even know. I couldn't even name every console in the Xbox lineup.
You could. Xbox did it. Those are some of our regrets. I'm sure we regret other things.
I regret this episode.
Kinda. I regret that we got so many things wrong. Do you regret that we don't do 30-minute episodes in video?
I don't regret not doing video, but 30-minute episode sounds nice. But I think I don't think people listen to Collector's Quests for 30 minutes.
No. Our intros are that long.
Yeah.
What would our truck driving population do?
I know people like fall asleep to us. Go in the Discord and like tell us what you're doing when you're listening to Collector's Quest. Are you guys driving? Because I'm usually driving when I'm listening to podcasts. Are you like working out? Are you falling asleep? Like what's going on? Doing the dishes?
A lot of people doing dishes.
I do.
A lot
dishes
of people doing dishes. Yeah. So I listen to a lot of podcasts while I do dishes because I do dishes by hand every single day.
Dude, hand dishes? That's the way to go. I got like a nice
I don't like a washing machine. Are you with me, hand wash gang?
I'm not. I do use my washing machine, but anything that's like even a little bit complex, like even a little bit of shape to it, hand wash all of it. It's great.
No, I just don't want. I every time I use a washing machine, I'm just like this doesn't feel good. This like dishes don't take that long, especially if you're like rinsing beforehand. I'm like, I'm just hand washing.
It's almost the same amount of time. It's a scam. Like you think you're saving time, but like you're not really saving that much time. And like you're not supposed to pre-rinse, but you do it anyway. So it's like if you just had a sponge, you could just finish this up right now.
They tell you don't need to pre-rinse, but that drain gets clogged all the time. Are you gonna fucking just let that slop into your drain? Give me a goddamn break.
Just, man, maybe we need to get rid of dishwashers. It's like cars where like we've built up this culture where like we all just have dishwashers, but like maybe we don't need them.
And they all vaguely suck. They're like
They do
the best dishwashers are still mediocre. I'm like, no, like ours broke, and Carly's like, do you want to replace this? And this was like, I don't know, 9 years ago, and I was like, no. I never liked it. I was doing most of the dishes by hand anyways. It's always loud, like weirdly. I just don't like the background noise of it. It's like, I don't like the noise that it makes. I'm not doing that. I will just do dishes by hand. I will sit here and I will put on a podcast and I will just relax while I do some dishes. It's not that big a deal.
Johnny, let's move on to the last part of the show.
Oh, okay. Where we do a collector's question and say what we found in the Discord that we liked.
I already said that Ravens posted F-Zero GX and Ikaruga, and man, those are like two of the absolute best GameCube games for me.
Those are bangers, but is that the best thing we saw in the Discord? That's the question, Tyler.
That's the best thing I saw. And then
I don't know if that's true.
Moonraker maybe got a complete in box Shantae, which is a game that is not nearly as good as F-Zero GX.
I mean, that's a big thing to check off. A complete in box Game Boy Color Shantae is a pretty good get. Moonraker, I like that. That's a good one. Also, like Moonraker doesn't post that often in there. You're gonna like just downgrade him like that. Show this man some love.
And he obviously likes Shantae because he's got the two. He's got two limited run games in the. Oh no, I'm seeing what's going on. He's got two limited run game Shantae things in the background, and the one more prominently featured is the Pirate's Curse Switch Special Edition. Is that like that's like one of the really good Shantae things, right? That's the only limited run game one that's like actually like hot shit. I see you, Moonraker. I do the same thing. I always like seed my background with like the secret good stuff. I see your limited run game Pirate Curse thing.
No,
I see what you're doing. I mean, he's posting a Shantae. We're not being modest here. We've got a complete in box Shantae, but I see what you're doing. It's good stuff.
That's pretty good.
Tom Nook asks, what are some underrated games to collect from the 16-bit and 32-bit era, lesser known stuff that you particularly enjoy and are collectively interesting? Damn it, I can't pick Blaster Master 2. Wait, 16 and 32-bit era? Isn't that like a huge range?
What is this exact question again?
All right, we're picking...
Cut all this.
Yeah, I know. We're going to cut it. We're going to discuss. We're going to wrap our heads around the question here, Johnny. We are picking underrated collectible games from the 16 and 32-bit era.
So, Super Nintendo through N64?
Yes. That's too much.
PS1?
Yeah,
that's so much.
That's too much. I'm going to say nothing on N64 is underrated. Almost literally everything on PS1 is underrated. So let's actually just step back and let's do SNES and Genesis, which is already a lot.
Underrated? Is there anything underrated?
I think so. Let's get real specific. Those weird, what are they? Realtek Genesis games like Funny World and Balloon Boy and Earth Defense. So it's like one of these things where like there's this weird unlicensed game and one seller has it on eBay. And if these ever disappear, you'll never find it again. You're never going to walk into a game store and see a copy of Funny World and Balloon Boy. So this seller, they might have another 50 copies. They might have another 800 copies. So, you know what? It's one of those things where I would get, if I cared about Genesis at all, I would get those weird Realtek games.
Okay. I'm going to say Mario Paint, complete in box, underrated, big box, make sure you have it nice.
You know what? I probably bought that a very long time ago because Mario Paint was a nostalgic game for me. So I bet I picked that up pretty early in my career. And I bet mine is not like super nice if you open it up.
Yeah.
And now what is a Mario Paint going to cost me nice? They like just re-released it on Switch too. It's probably like at least like $150, right?
No, Mario Paint's got to be nothing still, right?
Nothing. Let's see, Johnny. It's like $100, it looks like. I bet, you know what? I bet I don't have
Oh.
the plastic insert because I'm such a garbage collector, or I used to be a garbage collector.
And the player's choice one doesn't come up that often, or used to not come up that often. If you care about such things,
Man, a lot of them are wrecked. I'm gonna spend $200 on this. Now I'm gonna go check out my copy. If I had pictures of my copy of Mario Paint, I wouldn't have to do this. I could go spend money right now. You know, Super Mario World 2, it's underrated. I don't care. That game should be like $700. I don't know. It's so I'm like just browsing lists of games. It's so hard for me to find anything because like I feel like every hidden gem has been found, and like I know I see games and I'm like, why don't people collect this? This is the best shit, but I don't have a good thing off the top of my head here.
Liberty and Death, a Koei game on the Super Nintendo.
What's that game with it's the sequel to Herzog. Herzog Zwei. That's gonna be my Tyler answer. Let's see what a copy of Herzog Zwei costs. It's oh man, none of them have manuals. It's like $80. That feels right. I don't think that's underrated.
No, but that game has been $80 since like 10 years ago.
I mean, I'm just trying to pick a Tyler answer here, but Herzog Zwei is really the first RTS, and not really even the first RTS in the sense of how the genre turned out. That might be Dune 2, but Herzog Zwei, it's a strategy game, and you can walk around in real time, so it's the first real-time strategy game. And Tyler likes historic firsts, so I'm going with that as my pick, even though it's $80, which is a lot of money.
Skyblazer, the first Sony ImageSoft game for the Super Nintendo.
Wow. Now that is also a bullshit historic first. You know what? Underrated? The fucking Sega Genesis version of Virtua Racing. Because Virtua Racing is, man, that's a good arcade game. And the 32X version, still good. The Genesis version, not 32X, still really good. Should not be as good as it is. I think it's one of the best Genesis games. And Virtua Racing is technically a historic game, but obviously not the console ports. Go play just shitty Genesis Virtual Racing. It's so good.
You ever played Wordtris?
I played a lot of Wordtris actually with my friend as a kid. He had it on the Super Nintendo.
Underrated.
Yeah, we would basically just try to spell the word sex a lot because we were 12 years old.
Nice.
Yeah,
good.
It was real mature. All right.
We're not looking for maturity.
We got another question in this same question. If we were tasked with designing a game, what kind of game would it be? What would it be about? What would make people want to collect it 20 years from now?
Well, I know Tyler's going to have some bullshit answer.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
I mean, I would want to tweak like an existing genre to be exactly what I want. I don't have an idea for like a completely novel game. So like the games that I've made in like just as programming projects, like started and never finished, because that's what every programming project is, but no one wants to admit it. Like a space sim with like basically single player EVE Online with the grindiness and complexity of RuneScape. I think that would be the perfect game.
Okay. Here's my secret answer. Here's my secret game, Tyler.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to make an RPG, and I used to mess around with them in like RPG Maker. The original Collector's Quest art was like art that I was like, oh man, I would love to make a game called Collector's Quest, have an RPG, have it be like 16-bit, and then like kind of have it based off of like kind of like collecting and like just the idea of retro games and going through retro worlds. I know something like that is a little bit done, but I wanted to keep it an RPG. And here was going to be the twist on my RPG. So you're on a quest to get like the crystals, just like basic bullshit Final Fantasy stuff, because something is going wrong. And what you don't realize what you think is the end of the game, like you're defeating the villain, is that you are actually the villain the whole time. You are the force that is ruining the world and then the game starts again, and you are 4 new heroes, and you have to go and defeat the character that you just built up the whole fucking time. So depending on how grindy you were, how hard you went, is how much harder you're going to have to work to beat yourself. And then that character is also going to like periodically get stronger as real time passes in the game.
That is a really good concept for a game. You would have to keep it secret, like The Last of Us 2, the spoiler in The Last of Us 2. Like, and then when people play it, they all have to have the moment. That would be so fucking cool, though. That'd be a good moment.
That's like my whole thing is like you are the fucking villain. Like that it's just like everything goes to black. The world is in chaos. Like the elements are out of control. Like everything is going wrong. And it's like, how did it get that way? Oh shit, I just did that. And like, depending on the scale of how much things you did, it would be in the scroll, the beginning scroll that tells you how fucked up everything is. All the events you did are in the scroll going into how fucked up the world is. So, and there are things you could do or miss. So like all like Chrono Trigger, how you can like go back and fix things. Like you just have like a massive, like the more you did, the more like checkboxes that got put in and populate how fucking bad and strong you were. That was like my big concept. And then you have to go undo all of that.
That's a really good concept for a game. Because then all the people who are like, oh, I got to do every little thing. I got to grind. I got to find all the secrets. And they would just have it would make the second part of the game even better, having more stuff to undo. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
It's the ultimate like, oh shit. This is like my RPG brain did all the things. And like, if you did the stupid thing where you saved all of your elixirs, the thing that cures all of your health and all of your magic because you don't want to waste it, you don't know when you're going to use it, then the boss is going to have all that shit at their disposal.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's just like whatever the best weapon you fucking put on them, like it's all just going to be there. All the shit you did is going to be working against you. This is like I've held this secret, Tyler, for probably 9 years that this has been in my brain.
There's probably a lot of good opportunities for at dramatic moments in the story, it switches perspective and you start like pressing the A button for the bad guy again.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
So yeah, this has been my secret for this whole time. As I've told, like, I think I told Tiger Wolf and Clearvis, like, I got this idea for an RPG. I've never laid it out, but this is what it's been the whole time. When I'm like, I kind of have an idea. So when you guys want to make this game, this concept, here it is. You tell me when you're all ready.
All right, Johnny, I've got so the reason your game is going to be collectible is because it's an RPG and all RPGs are collectible. There we go.
Yeah, it's an RPG. Yeah. And I'm going to put it through a limited run collectibles and, how else am I going to do it?
So, Johnny, there's 2 games I really want that don't exist. So one is single player EVE Online and or RuneScape and or both of them combined into the same game. I think that subscriptions are evil, and more importantly, people who play games like EVE or RuneScape, they invest literal years of their life. Some people will spend actual gameplay years of their life in a single character, and I think it's crazy to have that much time invested in a file that another company owns. If RuneScape somehow went out of business, like there are nerds who would just kill themselves or just have nothing to do with their life anymore. I like the idea of, an offline version of those games. The other thing I want, though, Dwarf Fortress, or just the concept of any colony sim, but really Dwarf Fortress is obviously the best colony sim ever made, needs a multiplayer mode. I just want multiplayer Dwarf Fortress. It can be bootleg shitty multiplayer Dwarf Fortress. I don't care. I don't understand how there's not a multiplayer Dwarf Fortress. It doesn't make sense. There are so many survival crafting games. It is absolutely out of control. There's even so many colony simulators that are like shitty 3D versions of Dwarf Fortress. I don't want a 3D version of Dwarf Fortress, because once you make something 3D, you have to make art for every single thing in the game. And the reason Dwarf Fortress is as big as it is because in the beginning, as they were developing the game, they didn't have art for anything because it was all ASCII graphics. So they made a new thing in the game. Great. We're going to assign that thing to an ampersand and move on. This is a red ampersand is fire or something. And so Dwarf Fortress is all this shit. So I don't want a shitty 3D version of Dwarf Fortress. I want a 2D thing with a ton of shit in it that's multiplayer. Someone make it. All I'm asking for is the biggest games ever made to be made exactly how I want. Is that so hard? Just RuneScape, EVE Online, and Dwarf Fortress, guys. Come on.
I would like all those like cool actual like Wii U or Wii games that were just like Wii Store exclusives to actually be released, like the Castlevanias and like all the Konami stuff that like they did all these collections and then didn't include the like Rebirth versions. A bunch of weird games that were just like, hey, I would like all that. Can we get that?
Someone's got that in their back pocket. Has it really not all been re-released?
No.
Someone's got them in their back pocket. I thought that the Castlevania Rebirth thing got a physical release.
No.
Yeah,
Anyway.
So, all right. John, this is off topic, but whatever. We're at the end of the show. I don't like compilations. That is not a new thing. But I want... If you can give me, especially of a dead franchise, every game on one thing, and I mean every game, and it includes a bunch of new stuff that no one's ever played before. I want, like, if there's a Castlevania collection, I want, like, the early 2000s Japanese cell phone games on the collection. Like, I want any Flash game, any promotional thing that's ever been, I want, like, everything, and then that's a cool collection. But if you're just giving me, like, oh, here's the 8 biggest games in the franchise, like, I've played those games. Give me the shitty cell phone games. Give me Castlevania The Adventure Rebirth.
Yeah, give me all the weird Castlevania mobile games.
Exactly. I want emulations of the Pachinko Castlevania, the Castlevania Pachinko machines. Like, give me something unique, and I'll be on board.
Give me the emulations of Castlevania that you did, but you made it weird for mobile. Give me those. Let me see those.
And don't split it up into part 1 and part 2 and collection. This is Mega Man Collection X part 2. No, I want everything on one disc. It could cost $70 because apparently games cost $70 now. But it better have fucking everything, including weird stuff that no one's ever seen.
You are so naive to think that there's actually going to be stuff on a disc.
You know what would be the thing? It would take effort to go and like find and translate and emulate those like weird old Japanese cell phone games. So what if we just didn't do that and we gave them ROMs of the NES games again?
Sounds cool. Can we put Castlevania on the cover? That'll sell.
Yeah, you can put Castlevania on the cover and it'll sell.
You know what I want? I want Guitar Hero compilation. Every Guitar Hero licensed game that's still available. Let's go. Same with Rock Band. That's the compilation I want.
No, just go get. There's a bunch of different emulators on PC. Just go do that and get all the custom songs. Believe me, I hung on with Rock Band 3 for a long time. I have all my DLC. I bought a lot of songs from the store, and man, the load time. I like the load time start grinding on you, and there's a lot more selection on the internet. Maybe people not paying license fees for all the Iron Maiden songs I have.
Excellent. You'll have to I need to go to you at some point and see how that works, because I've never seen your thing. The only time I've really been to your house, you were like getting married, so like we didn't have a lot of time to actually fuck around.
Yeah. Like I said, I got my drum set up. I mean, you gotta come over to North Carolina. Johnny, I've got a live update here.
Oh.
The Exquisite Collection, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, autographed Logo Man, 1 of 1, PSA 6. I believe this is a card from the mid 2000s. It's like not even close to a rookie card. So both Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant on the same card. I think this is like the peak of Kobe's career. You could tell me. I don't know. It's like not a rookie card or anything. It's just
he's wearing number 8 still. Number 8, Kobe.
I don't know. So there's no picture on the card. It has 2 patch cutouts of the NBA guy logo, and then both sides of the card are signed. One is Michael Jordan, one is Kobe Bryant. So it's a PSA 6. So it's a 1 of 1 though. So what are we thinking this sold for?
$1.2 million.
$13 million.
Jesus Christ.
This is like if they made a 1 of 1 Castlevania collection and it going for $13 million. Because it's I don't know what's significant about it. It's not like the patches they were wearing when they won the championship or something. Even then, would it be worth $13 million? I don't get it.
Well,
I don't get sports
I've got an
cards.
answer for you. Do you want to know?
What?
Money laundering.
Oh, it's money laundering. I forgot that it's money laundering, guys. It's a
always
PSA 6. It's like not even good.
When you don't understand something, it's easiest just to say money laundering.
I also want to say that Kobe Bryant's logo, his like patch cutout, is framed pretty well, and the Michael Jordan's is not framed well. The head is cut off, and the NBA text at the bottom is a little cut off. But it's okay. It's not like this is going to be worth $13 million one day or anything.
Yeah, no big deal. You think when they were cutting up that thing up, they're like, that'll be worth $13 million.
Does anyone listening to this collect sports cards? Like, how do you deal with this? Like, do you just ignore the top end of the market and like keep collecting your poor people stuff? And I mean that facetiously, but like, I don't know how I could exist in a hobby where it's like this fundamentally impossible to own any of the best stuff.
Well, no, because sports cards, it's not about like, it's about owning the good cards, but sports cards is gambling.
But like, where are the payouts coming from?
You buy these super expensive packs that are like $200 or more, and they have like one card in it. You open it up and you either win or you lose.
But yeah, I know people spend $10,000 on a hobby box in sports cards, but then I don't understand who is paying. Like, who is paying for the stuff that misses? Who's paying for like the garbage cards out of a National Treasures box or something?
I don't know if they are. Like, it's like, oh, I spent $1,000 on this hobby box and this card is only a $200 card because I like the quantity is still so low. So I think there are some amount of big collectors who are just like, yeah, I guess I'll just take that one because maybe I'll be able to flip it. Like, I don't know. I don't understand the sports card market that well. I know a bunch of people who are into sports cards and they talk to me a little bit about it. And I'm just like, every bad decision I've ever made as far as video games, I feel so much better that at least I didn't go down that path because it's just gambling. And those people's collections are probably better than mine, like respectively, like as terms of value. Because when they hit gigantic. It's just huge wins. There's no hitting in video games. And that's why I've always been like, they need to make modern games. You need to make it like a bit of a gamble and you need to make modern stuff collectible. Getting good grades on old stuff is not going to keep the hobby afloat.
Johnny, $13 million though.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
What?
And that's why, did you hear, I forget, there was a quote from a guy who was like, he was a professional athlete. It's like why they were collecting Pokemon. It's like because Pikachu never tears an Achilles.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so here's how it's sold. This is how they are marketing it. It's the one and only Jordan Kobe dual signed logo man that there will ever be. Great. Yeah. So we're basically capitalizing that Kobe's dead and he can't sign anything anymore. So basically the premise here has to be that Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan are the two best basketballers that there will ever be, and this is the one card that you can get both of them. But wouldn't most people put Jordan and LeBron as 1 and 2? Am I wrong?
Don't get into the NBA.
No, okay, I'm not getting into who's number 1, but isn't number 1 and 2 pretty fucking clear? Am I wrong about sports? Is Kobe really in the number 1 conversation?
You are. Guess what? You're wrong. Yeah, you're wrong.
All right.
Because this is the debate that continues.
Because you're from California.
Oh, you're just gonna put Kareem out? You're not gonna put Kareem? Oh, like I think Jordan is widely considered the consensus one. People are not gonna put LeBron 2. There's too many people who hate LeBron James.
No, they're gonna put LeBron 1.
No, like they try. There's a group of LeBron fans that try, but like a lot of people, it's just if you want to see what Facebook bait looks like. There's whole pages dedicated to just saying like they just make up bullshit stats, put them next together, and they're like, "This is why LeBron is better than Jordan." And then they'll put the same thing and they'll like reverse the stat, and they'll be like, "This is why LeBron James can never sniff Jordan's ass." Like it's just bait post, and then that thread goes on for 7,000 comments on Facebook of people fucking arguing with each other. The same post is made 3 times a day in some different fashion, and it always has that many responses of people just arguing with each other.
All right, guys. I don't know anything about basketball, so come at me with your argument and data on why Kobe is number 1 tier and not number 3 tier. But okay, all right. So this one random card, like this, is this a significant year? Is 2007, 2008 a significant year for Jordan or Kobe?
Well, Jordan's done in 2007. I think that's actually the bad Kobe Bryant years. Not that he was bad, but I think the Lakers were really bad in 2007.
Great. So, I mean, this has sold obviously for more than any Jordan or any Kobe card.
I don't know. 2006, 2007. What? Jordan Farmar was on the team. Kwame Brown. Oh no. This was an okay year. No, Smush was on the team.
I don't think the year matters. I think the grade doesn't matter. Obviously, it's a PSA 6. It's just that it's Jordan and Kobe. Like, I'm not saying that's a bad combination there. This has to be in the conversation for most expensive sports cards ever sold, right?
I'm sure. I mean, I don't know. That's the thing. Sports cards are so insane. I don't know. Like, I mean, we talked about like Shohei Ohtani, like card going for $1 million, and that's just like brand new. Anyways, the Lakers in 2006, 2007 finished 7th place in the West with a 42-40 record, and that is not good.
Okay. According to Wikipedia, this would be the second most expensive sports card ever sold. Basically the same price as a 9.5 graded Mickey Mantle. Oh, wait, no, it is the most expensive sports card ever sold because they were accounting for inflation. So it's Kobe Jordan over...
Interesting.
It's a multi-pack. Guys, do fuck multi-pack. You want just the one thing. You want to showcase one. It's the multi-pack.
Okay.
I guess it's a cool card.
All right. You did it.
That's our show.
All right.
Oh, wait. What do we play?
Yeah. What did you play? You played some stuff. You wanted to talk about it.
Did I? What do you mean?
I thought you said you played a game. You wanted to tell me about it.
Yeah, I've been playing Trackmania, which I think Trackmania is. I don't know if I should, if I'm gonna caveat this. One of the most underrated games of all time in terms of games that should be on like top 100 games of all time lists. Because I don't think that there will ever be a game better than what it does, and I think it is just as good as when it was. It's like a 20-year-old game, and I think it's just as playable and good as it will ever be. It's a trial racing game. It's like an extreme trial racing game. It's very much like Elastomania. If you don't know what Elastomania is, it's very much like the Trials 2 HD on Xbox Live Arcade, but with cars.
It's true.
And it's perfect. I could play that game for an hour. I could play that game for 3 minutes. Love Trackmania. And then, are you talking about Colossal Cave Adventure?
Yes.
Oh, I've been playing some Colossal Cave Adventure, Johnny.
Yeah. You want to hear about Colossal Cave Adventure? Sure, tell me.
Oh. Here's the thing with Colossal Cave Adventure. So it's a text adventure game. It is the first major text adventure game. It's a very historic game, so I'm like, I got to sit down and actually play this. And there's a program that is used to map text adventures. Not like automatically, it's just like a way to type in the rooms and the exits, so it makes a cohesive map so you don't have to keep like erasing and overwriting yourself on graph paper. And there's a caveat with this program that it only works when the maps make sense. And then there's like a parentheses. So you can't really use it for Colossal Cave, for example, because that map doesn't make any fucking sense. So I'm working on this Colossal Cave map on graph paper. And like, you could bitch out. Like you could go and download a map of basically any text adventure. You could download just the map, and then you have to fill in the map yourself, but they'll give you the layout so you don't have to keep like screwing around with graph paper. But I want the real experience, so I'm going to tell you that I got 30% through this game, then gave up and used a walkthrough next week.
Okay. Well, I look forward to hearing about how that happened to you.
All right. And then what did I buy? I bought. Did I say Rocket League Collector's Edition? Did I already buy that? That's the last video game I bought.
Okay. That's what you bought.
Rocket League Collector's Edition, it's the first physical release of Rocket League for PC, and they're not common. And people list them for like $200 all the time, but no one's fucking buying it because it's a PC DVD case game. And I got mine for $30. It's worth the wait.
You did it.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
What are you playing? What are you buying?
Well, Tyler, I'm not playing anything because my house is currently under construction. Unless you count Pokemon Pocket. I started, I was just opening packs, or not open. I wasn't opening. I was letting my son open the packs. And then, he wanted a couple of cards. So if you play the bots, you win the currency in which you can buy the packs. So I was like, well, let me play. So if you want to say I played a video game, I found a deck for Pokemon Pocket and I played 10 matches of that too. So he could have 5 additional packs. Cool. Is that awesome?
That sounds like grinding and not fun.
Hey, it's fine. It's just like Pokemon. Do you like Pokemon? I guess if you like that, then it's fine. He and I have been working on his Pokedex, and that's what we've really been grinding on. I bought a bunch of cool stuff that has not arrived yet. But I did show off a couple things in the Discord that did come. Hey, how do you feel about slots? Do you like slots, Tyler? You like gambling?
Love slots, Johnny. I'm more of a craps guy, but man, nothing like gambling. Am I right?
How do you feel about PC slots?
Oh, PC slots?
Yeah.
Where I could
And I don't mean for your graphics card.
You mean spinning reels and gambling, Johnny.
Yeah.
Sitting at my PC where they'll give me say $100,000 to start, and I can sit there hitting the space bar, watching it slowly dwindle to 0, and then do it again. Sign me up. That sounds like a great video game.
Now, what if I told you this thing had this particular copy of this game had the rarer slipcover that's usually not included with the game?
What is this, a horror slots game that you bought?
It's Ghost Stories.
Who is buying these slots games at Walmart, guys? What is going on?
This is the best part. It's most of the games have nothing to do with spooky or anything. It's like Great American Eagle. I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean what's spooky about that? It's that. I'm looking at fucking Rosie the Riveter right now. What are we talking about? Fortunes of the Caribbean, Queen of the Wild. I'm like, these aren't, they just we need something different on the cover and maybe that'll sell it. But I thought it was so funny and it was $8. So I bought it because, I love dumb shit for the Halloween collection. This will definitely be in the next regret episode. So don't worry about it. For sure.
I don't know what you're allowed to set limits. Even if you're the horror collector guy, you don't have to get everything just because.
Well, look, there's a bunch of these. I didn't buy all of the hidden object games, but I buy a few to illustrate what they are. Well, the other thing I bought, Tyler, is Gabriel Knight 3 for the PC. You excited about that? Big box PC, Gabriel Knight 3?
Cool.
Blood of the Sacred, Blood of the Damned.
I just watched Sinners, which has some hoodoo in it. It's very Gabriel Knighty.
All right. I also got Amber, Journeys Beyond. And I only say it like that because it's not written as one sentence. The title is all big. It says Amber, and then Journeys Beyond is below it. So
okay, another game we've all heard of.
Yeah. Well, if you want to unravel the mystery to our senses, then you're going to love Amber, Journeys Beyond. Death is not the end is the subtitle.
Wikipedia says gameplay it's missed, but gameplay is non-linear and events occur at random depending on the player's progress.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this now.
You're going to love the way this game looks. I guarantee it.
Dude, I love the idea of Myst, and I'm not the biggest Myst fan, even though I want to love Myst. And then every time there's a game that tries to copy Myst, I feel like they miss everything that makes Myst as good as it is. So I think the Myst puzzles are like, at the very least, overrated in terms of puzzle design. But man, the vibes of Myst are immaculate, and I don't think any of the other games get the vibes right.
Look, you know, this has a spooky gazebo and a sailboat. So I don't know what you're talking about. Also, I just love the title of this game, Amber, Journeys Beyond. And it is Amber : Journeys Beyond in the back of the box. So I love that they do that.
It's a bad name for a video game.
It's super bad, like so dumb. Also, they have a TM at the back of Journeys Beyond. So that's trademarked. So every time you read it, it's Amber : Journeys Beyond trademark. Love it. With incredible attention to detail, Amber: Journeys Beyond is completely unlike anything you have ever experienced.
Johnny.
Touching on the supernaturals in ways seldom explored, Amber: Journeys Beyond exposes you to an existence well beyond our own, while grounding you in familiar realities which serve to starkly contrast with what we see and hear and what lies hidden to our senses. They're just repeating the words that are on the front of the box continually. Through a combination of amazingly lifelike images, subtle environmental sounds, compelling soundtrack, and a thoroughly developed character and stories, Amber: Journeys Beyond will completely immerse you in the experience of several lifetimes. Several fucking lifetimes, Tyler? Are you kidding me? I get several lifetimes? Sign me up.
The game is about an hour long, it looks like, if you know what to do, I guess. A lot of people in the YouTube comments seem to be nostalgic for it and have fond memories of it. So maybe it's not completely Myst at home. So I don't know. Maybe if you want to play Haunted House Myst, go play it. I want to hear what this game is.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I you know me, I love to add some bullshit into the collection. So here we are.
All right, Johnny, what else you got? Are we done?
That's it. That's it. I need you to go buy a game, though. Can you go buy a game for me? Because I want it in your collection.
What?
It's War in Middle-earth for the PC. It's a big box game.
Why would I buy this?
I don't know, because it's got a cool box.
Okay, that is a pretty cool box.
Is that a good enough reason? Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay. I mean, for $20, this is a pretty cool fucking box.
Yeah. I'm like, this isn't really my world, but like, you could justify putting that on your shelf.
It's just, this is, what is this? Some kind of Lord of the Rings strategy game, but it just has a very 1970s and 80s fantasy look to it. And it's
from
Lord of the Rings, so it's very cool.
Yeah. This game is sweet. Anyways, we'll figure it out. We got to look into this game. I'm curious now. That's it. That's it for the show. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you to all of our Patrons for supporting us. And, all the other people who are just out there casually listening while you're doing dishes, I assume, or whatever it is. We appreciate you as well. Thanks so much. That's our show for tonight. Bye.